Should be. There we go. Hello. Hold on a minute. Let's try this one more time. Ladies and gentlemen, first to everybody from all around the world, you're now listening to the hottest show in all the globe right here on YouTube and on every podcasting platform imaginable. It's the one, it's the only, it's the watchable with me, your host, Young Lucas. Make some noise. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Clap it up. Get excited. Wherever you are, it's Friday. That's right. We ending the week off strong with a phenomenal, dominant show for you all to enjoy on today. And we are one day away from the biggest blood feud in boxing right now. Eubanks versus Benn are doing the weigh-ins right here, right now, today, live, right here on the show. Trying to line it up so that we can have, y'all see the physiques, the conversation, and also talk about the fight as a whole. One more time before we get into this weekend, also with the loop with this being the championship rounds, anything that we discussed throughout the entirety of the week and or things you want to talk about yourself, you have full control over, because this is indeed the championship rounds. And if you didn't know what that means when you hear the sound of the bell like this, this means that now it is your time to shine and it is your opportunity to make the world your own and make this show all of yours to control. Yes, indeed. You all see whatever topics, discussions, debates on questions on movies, sports, television, video games, NBA, the NFL, boxing, anything of the like. If we can talk about it, we can be about it right here on this show. We want to hear from you. I have my coffee together. Oh yeah, that's good. That's sweet. And we got a whole afternoon of fun, excitement, and outright energy to get with you on today. As I am jacked up and ready. Gosh, it's a lot of caffeine. It's great, though. I love it. And you know what? Because it gives me the energy to do what I do best and to entertain the masses right here, right now, on the airways of YouTube and every podcasting platform. Oh, also, real quick, if you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Yes, indeed. Come on. Join this empire. Be a part of this community. Come on and join what this fast-growing monolith of a community that we have together that we're going to be building each and every day. Come join if you haven't already. Be sure to hit the notification bell so you know exactly when we post right here on YouTube and on every podcasting platform, so you know exactly when we upload and what's going on right here on the hottest show in all the globe. Be sure also, like I already said, to leave a like on the stream and to share the show with everybody that you know so we can keep on building up this empire together right here on YouTube. And we appreciate all the community support, all the service. We had 2,060 subscribers. We can get to one, we can get 2,100 potentially hopefully by the end of the week, by Sunday. Is it Sunday? Saturday? End of the week, Saturday. We can get to the end of the week and we can meet that milestone potentially, all with you and your support. Keep on telling people about the show. Keep on sharing, keep on subscribing, keep on watching, and keep on engaging. And I guarantee you we're going to grow to the moon. Absolutely no doubt about it. But again, we have an action-packed show. We got a lot to cover. We got a lot of things to delve into. So with all that being said, we got boxing to talk about. We got sports to hear. We got sports to discuss. We got your opinions to be heard. And so with that being said, it is time to jump into the world of the championship world. That's right. Let's get it popping. Let's get it started. Make the show your own. It's time to see exactly what you all got. It's time to see exactly what you all are about. Let's hear from you all on the public on anything in regards to the world of sports as a whole. And while we're waiting on your questions to come to fruition, we are indeed still waiting on the physiques of Conor Benn and Chris Eubanks Jr. to walk out onto the stage. They're doing a live weigh-in right now. If you did not know, you can watch on the Ring Magazine or Zone. I'm not sponsored by them, at least not yet anyway. I ain't working with them, at least not yet anyway. But at this point in time, if you want to see it while you're also watching this show, you can watch it on YouTube or on X, Twitter, whatever the word you want to call it. Wherever you can, if you got a phone or a computer, you can watch the weigh-in. Right now they're doing, I believe they're doing the main card fights right now with, I believe, Eubanks and Conor Benn getting ready to walk out on stage. I want to say 10 minutes, 10, 15 minutes, depending on how quickly they go through all these other ways. Regardless of which, this is a fight that is still very much has everybody in pin needles. And if we go back based on what happened with talking points on yesterday, it's a lot of people saying that we're going to see Conor Benn knock out Chris Eubanks Jr. More people than I thought and I expected to see are talking about saying that they're going to see Conor Benn knock out Chris Eubanks. And I very much was not expecting that type of output. I was not expecting that type of commentary from the public eye. Because most, based on the last fight, which again was a phenomenal fight, it was still Eubanks had the upper hand in and out of range from the standpoint, excuse me, of in range and out of range. He was able to win. I'm not saying it wasn't tough, but he was able to do what he needed to do. Absolutely. And again, the countering, the uppercuts, being able to use his length and beating Conor Benn, even when Conor Benn did get on the inside, was very much, made for a great affair, made for a phenomenal war, but it was still, he deserved it. Now, like I said yesterday, building upon that can be absolutely possible for both Eubanks and for Benn. But I think Eubanks is going to get the upper hand and be able to adapt better from the adjustments that he needed to make in the first fight to have a more definitive win. But the knockout would be incredible. It'll be phenomenal. And that brings in a better question in regards to Conor Benn, more specifically. If, in regards to this upset, we do see Conor Benn get this job done. We see, excuse me. We do see Conor Benn get this done. We see Conor Benn have this go about. And he gets this victory. He gets this upset when he gets the knockout. And he avenges his loss. He gets revenge for the entire rivalry. Well, now the question is, where does he go? Because there's been a lot of conversation about the multiple places that he can go to. Mind you, this fight's at 160. I believe with Eubanks right now, Chris Eubanks Jr. can fight, or at least he's a big guy, and he can fight, I think up to 168, I believe, as a competitor. So both of them are in kind of a struggling situation. With this being, I believe this is more so of a agreed upon catch weight type of fight. And Conor Benn's fighting up, Eubanks is fighting down. We're saying both of them are struggling. We've seen the weight drain issues that we've had with Eubanks over the course of the years, and we've seen the issues that we've had with Conor Benn from the standpoint of he ain't had the same ability, or at least the same pop, as we've seen him have at lower weight class, at least when he was indeed working and being down. And excuse me, I misspoke. He's been fighting at 160 for the majority of his career. So let me rephrase, or since the likes of 2019, he's had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Shoot, he said a lot of fights. So excuse me, I misspoke. My apologies. Regardless of which, sticking with Conor Benn, more specifically, he is a brother who fights prime weight, lower weight class. If he does get this win against Eubanks at middleweight, at 160, well, now the question becomes, what exactly is going to be his next move? Does he go after the likes of, hey, all right, I won. I'm in. This is going to push me into title contending status. This is going to push me into very much heights and swaps to have an opportunity to get to a level of putting a belt around my waist. Does he go after it? Does he attempt to chase it? Or does he stay at, or excuse me, does he move back down? Does he move back? I'm not saying he goes back down to 135, but like he goes down to 147, 154. And he tried to fight there with a bunch of dominant fighters going in and fight. Good gosh, who the world? I'm sorry. I'm watching this one of the weigh-ins right now. I forget, is this, who the word is it? Who the word is these people? Because they John. Somebody about threw a shoe at somebody during the weigh-in right now. My God, excuse me. My apologies. It was Scooby almost threw his shoe at Azim going in as I'm watching the weigh-in right now. But back to the comment at hand. Eubanks at 160, and the likes of him moving back down, or the concept of him moving back down from 160, if he does get this win, are possible. Does he want to try to go for gentleman? Excuse me. I'm sorry. I don't know why exactly I am having fits when it comes to me coughing. I do apologize. Truly, I do. But him as my goodness, hold on. Wait a minute. Okay. All right. Okay, I think we're good. Okay. I don't know. What was going on there? I don't know what happened there. My apologies. Eubanks moving back down from 160 to potentially 154 or 147. Would be very interesting. Could he compete at 160, or excuse me, at 154 more diligently, as it would, I think would fit his frame a lot better? Potentially even 147? Hey, sure. Yeah, I would think so. Still, question still becomes though the pop and the ability to punch at that weight. Though, if you can hurt the likes of Eubanks, who is again at middleweight, you would assume you can hurt the likes of somebody at 154, likes of 147. You can hurt the likes of Brian Omer Jr., hurt the likes of a Devin Haney, or at least have enough power to gain respect at those weight classes. And he's, for the most part, he's been fighting outside of, or at least post PEDs at 154. It's about 154. Weighing in normally around 150. Had to get up to about 156 to at least get close to 160 for this fight. With Eubanks gonna have to do it again in this fight, which I believe both of them are around the same weight again, 156 to 158. So, like, he is ballooning himself up to compete against the likes of Eubanks. It is a tall task. The fact that that fight was indeed that close, with him trying to gain this much weight from, again, this brother is legit a 147 pounder. It's impressive. It's astounding. It is. I got to give props where props is due. That's something to behold. No issue there. As we're getting ready to see Jack Catterall walk out into the ring, or walk out into the press conference. But I truly think, even if he gets his win, he would be wise to go back down. Because trying to stay at 160 against these types of heavy hitters, again, I'm not saying this division is a deep division, but it is a very much, if you are at the top, brother, you got some killers you're going to have to go against. And you got some big heavy hitters. Huge heavy hitters. Again, with Laura and Janibek just being the two best names out there. But it's still a division filled with, like, you got to be something. You got to be something serious. You got to be something. You got to be able to garner some level of, hey, I can do some damage. Now, I'm not saying that Conor Benn doing what he did to Eubanks didn't show, okay, yeah, he can compete. I'm saying he'd be better off going back down and fighting at 154. Not necessarily trying to constrain himself back down to 147, but like, I don't think he can sustain, me personally, I don't think he can sustain competing at this weight class to be comfortable and to be able to be at his best. That's me. That's me. I'm not saying that is the right approach. I'm not trying to diminish his skill set either. That's the nature of the beast. That's the nature of the beast. This man is going to be going through it. And if he does lose to Eubanks again, well, he's going to be forced back down. Because most likely he would not want to stay. There would be no point in staying. Because there's no title opportunity. You lost the rematch, lost your revenge, and now, boom, you're going back down into the fight. So, yeah. If we're going to talk about next steps, because we still got to look at what happens after all this fights go about. We still got to look at what happens afterwards when everything turns over. We still have to look at the other side of the mountain once we do indeed get up and cross it. And this is that situation. That's a real opportunity that Conor Benn, if he does get this win, will have a chance to fight or be in position to get championships at 160. Or at least be in the vicinity. But is it smart for him to stay there after this rivalry is over? I don't know. That's me. I don't know. I would say I think I would want to move back down. But again, personal preference. And I would love to hear what you all have to say on the matter in regards to all of that. Also, real quick, news I didn't even get to talk. I've almost completely overlooked when I was discussing this whole thing. Ladies and gentlemen, do you know what happened with Joseph Parker? Have you heard? Have you heard? Have you known? Has it crossed your mind? Or has it come across your feed? What's going on with Joseph Parker? Because lo and behold, off the backs of Fabio Wardley, and this fight that he had in the loss that he had against Wardley, it is now come to our attention that Joseph Parker, hey man, the brother popped. Can you believe it? Can you believe it? We got some problems here. Joseph Parker popped in his fight with Fabio Wardley, which I shocked as all get out. Could not believe that actually took place. And to remind you, in a situation where Joseph Parker, we didn't think nothing was going on with him. We thought it was going to be everything was sunshine and roses from the standpoint of internally what you do. But a pot for cocaine of all things. Yes, sir. The white snow, the powder, the angel dust, whatever the world you want to call it. He got caught. Mind you, this was the sample that was taken the day, I believe it was the day before or the day of the fight. So we're gonna see if when the B sample comes in, whether or not it shows that the first sample was not true, and the second and the B sample, because there's an A and B sample. Well, like we did with the whole thing with Ryan Garcia, they take two samples. One pops negative, you can say another one. That one is good or clean. Okay, fine. Then we go about it. If that one's dirty as well, then we got some issues. Apparently, he had not drops. He had cocaine in his system while he was fighting Fabio Wardley. Now, I'm going to tell you this right now. I'm shocked. I'm not going to lie. I'm shocked that the brother got knocked out or got stopped by Wardley. If that is indeed what you were on, because brother, ain't that supposed to make you invincible? Ain't that supposed to make you nigh unstoppable? Or don't you turn into the Incredible Hulk? Again, I haven't taken it. I wouldn't know. But I've heard through the grapevine. If you want that stuff, man, you can conquer the world. There wasn't there a movie called Cocaine Bear? With a bear that had eaten like 5 pounds of cocaine? And for upwards of 30 minutes, or however long that bear was alive, he was the most dangerous animal in the world. Because there was nothing, because because of what that stuff does to him. It's insane. It's ridiculous. And I'm like, this is something, I'm not gonna lie, this is something I never expected. Also, Love King, how you doing? Good to see you. Thank you for tuning into the show. So glad you're here with us on today. We are in the championship rounds. Since you're here, again, leave a like on the stream. Keep on sharing the show. Keep on talking about it. We want to hear from you what you got to say on the matter in regards to everything involving the boxing world and or beyond. Because this is your time to shine. However long or short this show goes, it's all predicated on you, the viewing and listening public, to state your claim and state your case of what you would like to say on the day. But yeah, he was on that white. Yeah, I couldn't believe it. Joseph Parker was the last person I would have had on my mind that would have it. Now, again, this could be faulty. Why you would have cocaine in his system unless he was drinking the original version of Coca-Cola, I don't know. And hopefully this isn't something that's leading to a problematic issue. Not sure what he was thinking. I'm my gosh, shoot. And see, because it's so out of place because Joseph Parker is such a nice guy. He's such a humble dude. He's confident, but it's like he's likable, he's lovable. Everybody respects him from the standpoint of, like, as a person, no issue there. And in the ring, he's a warrior who fought everybody under the sun. And he's fought people like Joseph Parker. He's fought people like Anthony Joshua. He's fought a litany and a host of great competition. Has a phenomenal resume. Big Bang Jang as well. And so everything surrounding him, at least from what we were able to see, it was okay. It seemed like it was fine. It seemed like everything was all where it needed to be. And it's a shock. This is a shock. This is a shock. This is a shock. I really don't want this to be a potential problem and a bigger issue down the line. Hopefully, this is not something that is incredibly problematic or a potential bigger problem that comes into play in the personal life. Hopefully, prayerfully, whatever the case may be, this is it's not looking great. This ain't looking good. This ain't looking. If that other test comes back and it's also positive, the B sample, I would assume it gets banned. I assume it would get banned, or I assume at least get some sort of restriction, and that further pushes him back from the ability to get back on top of the mountain of heavyweights that he just got knocked off the pedestal of, with him nearly getting a shot at the undisputed title before his loss to Ward. And so this is probably going to bump with, again, if he gets punished, and if that B sample does come back positive as well, it could bump him down the ladder severely and keep him out of sports to the point that, yeah, just by proxy of you not being existent, you are way down the ladder in terms of championship opportunities. So that is we're gonna track and see how exactly that goes, because that's shock. I can't lie. That's a shock. That's a shock I never expected. And dang, hopefully hey, I'm gonna tell you this though. The fact that Fabio Worley knocked out a coked up Joseph Parker, again, allegedly a coked up Joseph Parker, to put him down, or at least to get a stoppage, all I can do is say I'm impressed. All I can do is say I'm impressed. Again, allegedly, if we see that this second sample does come back in a negative light. Also, we have, in the world of boxing, we do have more stuff that got announced. We now officially have the calendar for next year's slated events all moving. And it is, as I put it in, or as I pull it up right now, it's looking to be the start of 2026. Not trying to say that I'm looking ahead severely, but the start of 2026 is indeed looking pretty good in the wider array. Yes, we still got Teofimo Lopez and Shakur looking like it's gonna happen. You still got Junto, and in a way, if this fight happens, and if he wins, it doesn't in a way in December, and Nakatani also wins in December, then we will see both of them what's looking like to be fighting February, January. One of those instances. But even beyond that, now we can talk about the rest of the boxing schedule. That looks mighty pretty. Hey. This ain't looking bad. Specifically, Cruz versus Murtala happening on January 24th. Bakwan versus, again, Josh Kelly, which we've been talking about multiple occasions, for the IBF title on January 31st. February, you got Lee Work versus Warrington. If you saw that first fight, it was a good fight. And then this one right here, this is what I'm interested in. Emmanuel Navarrete versus Eduardo Nunes. Yes. We haven't talked about this fight much. We haven't talked about this fighter much. Why? Because it's been so much other stuff happening surrounding the boxing landscape, which has been abundant. I cannot lie. I can't lie at all. It has been abundant, the amount of stuff that has been transpiring. It's kind of taken away. Well, not taken away, taken precedent over the other things happening in the boxing world. This fight, Navarrete versus Nunes, not only is this going to be good, but I got my eye close on this fight with Navarrete. I have been a very big detractor of Navarrete. I've turned into a very big fan of this brother. And I've turned into a brother who, once we see him get to 135, I'm saying everybody in that division better be scared. I'm dead serious. And I really believe that after this, hold on. I had it to the point where y'all couldn't see the screen because my face was in the way. Hold on, I'm sorry. There we go. Yeah, you go. Now you can see. Andy Cruz versus Murtala, like I said, but also Navarrete versus Nunes. As you can see now, this is the fight I'm talking about. I'm excited for this one because lo and behold, I want to see this man get, if he does indeed defend and win the WBO and IBF, he could go out to undisputed, but I got a strong inkling, a gut feeling he might make the move up. Because now the blood's in the water for the shakeup of that division. Everybody's looking for who's the new king. This man can be a real problem. At 130, I truly do think he's gonna come close to cleaning the house. And 135, I think it makes a real noise. It's going to all come off the backs of this fight with Nunez, which I'm incredibly excited for. But let me keep on reading what you all have to say. So I am not going away from you all's chats. Want to make sure I keep y'all engaged. If Jake beats AJ, would that ruin AJ's career? Well, we can talk about that as well as we go back to let me go back to the picture because we got some news on that about the fight and how this fight is not an exhibition. This is gonna be official, legitimate. I'll show y'all right here on the show. Per Mike Coppinger, Jake Paul versus Anthony Joshua will be a real pro boxing or pro heavyweight fight, not an exhibition. It's slated to take place Friday, December 19th. So we now have an official date. We can go to Mike Coppinger's page as a whole and look at it directly, and I can find the tweet that he posted right here. Oh, this is more news in regarding the okay, so he's going through talking about how cocaine is soluble, how can we eliminate it, and so. But they got caught with an enemy while it was there, which again is a crazy shame. But regardless of which, where is it? Okay, here it is. Yep. Mike Coppinger reports heavyweight fight, not an exhibition, is slated for December 19th, and it is going to count legitimately for both of their records. So this is not going to be a situation where it is just we're going to get in there. This is going to be an official fight. This will be a fight that is going to be genuinely done, as it's going to matter. It's going to count. Just like when Mike Tyson and Jake Paul officially counted to Mike Tyson and Jake Paul's record, like officially. You go on BoxRec right now. Hold on. No, not that. You go on BoxRec right now. And you go and you look at Mike Tyson's resume. It's what, 56-10? But that 10th loss is Jake Paul. That was crazy enough. That was an official fight. Crazy enough. That was an actual real fight. Tommy Fury fight was an official fight. All of these fights that Jake Paul has been in has counted and mattered for their records. The only exhibition that has been done has been, or was going to be, the fight that he had with Tank Davis before that got canceled. So this is going to be a legitimate thing. And if Jake beats Anthony Joshua, would that ruin AJ's career? Yeah, Anthony Joshua should retire. Be clear. He should retire. He really should retire. If Tyson Fury had lost to Francis Ngannou, at least it would have been with the capacity of this is at this point in time the best heavyweight UFC fighter in the world, who was legitimately seen and respected by boxing fans and MMA fighters alike, and MMA fans. In the combat world, he had rapport and respect genuinely cross-platform, as did Anderson Silva. But if this against Jake Paul, if he loses, yeah, he should retire. Because you got to understand, this is the perfect thing. Turkey Al-Sheikh even brought this up about why he wanted this fight. We even played the clip on here, but that was like months ago. I'm trying to find it, but that's gonna be a minute. But Anthony Joshua, he was Turkey Al-Sheikh. He was saying, "Hey man, this fight with Anthony Joshua and Jake Paul, if that's the route Jake wants to go, okay, fine. If you want to really have an actual circumstance of talent, come find me, and I'll put you against Anthony Joshua. It makes sense because one, Anthony Joshua is at a crossroads in his career where he's in limbo trying to make sure, is he still an elite contender? And Jake Paul has been saying he wants to be seen as valid and real and taken seriously. All right. Both of y'all are at the threshold of where your careers can change. Fight each other. Make it happen. And I'll put it on. If Jake Paul wins and Anthony Joshua loses, well, Anthony Joshua should retire. And he's done. If Jake Paul loses, Anthony Joshua wins, well, then the saga's over. Jake Paul is finished and he's out the sport. And we move on. Again, this is paraphrasing what he had said, but that's what he said. He should retire, and he should retire. If Anthony Joshua gets knocked out by a cruiserweight, then what's the point? In fact, who was it? There was a somebody on the was with Talk Sports over at the BBC in the UK. I forget which show it was, but some boxer, I believe, who was regional champion. It wasn't Johnny Fisher, was it? It was somebody. Some UK boxer with a pretty decent record. The name eludes me, but he was on the talk show yesterday in the UK. In regards to the reaction to the fight with Jake Paul and Anthony Joshua being announced, and he was saying, he was saying that he lost respect for Anthony Joshua taking this fight. Why? Like, you don't need it. Why are you trying to do it? And it makes no sense. This, that, and the third from that perspective, because like he's nowhere close to your level. And he said this one quote that stuck out: "You wouldn't put the cruiserweight Commonwealth champion against the likes of Anthony Joshua." Now, what makes you think that Jake Paul versus Anthony Joshua is remotely a close affair and or a good idea? If you want to even put somebody that is actually having regional, national, and near world level success, who's coming in at the same way as Jake Paul up against Anthony Joshua today, you would never do that. If he doesn't have a shot, what makes us think that Jake Paul has a shot? Hence, this fight shouldn't be going on. And that's true. Absolutely. From the standpoint of it, makes sense. Unless you're Jai Apataya or Zurdo Ramirez, it's incredibly hard to see a lot of people in the heavyweight division not mauling through most of the cruiserweights. Because at that point, then the weight is indeed, to a degree, so much. There's a reason why Usyk doing what he did, Evander Holyfield doing what he did from heavyweight and cruiserweight is so impressive, because, but it doesn't work like that all the time. Ever. Rarely. Even at the best of the best. Bob Foster is one of the greatest light heavyweights in history. But he fought Muhammad Ali and he got knocked out. No, he still put up a good fight. He cut him. He cut the great Muhammad Ali, which is rare. But he got knocked out. And it was like, okay, yeah, there is a different level to this. And this is not me saying that there aren't cruiserweights that can't compete at a heavyweight level. This is me saying that Jake Paul ain't one of them. He should never be one of them. And if Anthony Joshua loses this fight, he should retire. Because you have to understand the weight of this type of win. If Jake Paul did win this fight, this would be a bigger upset than Andy Ruiz when he beat Anthony Joshua. And that was the second biggest on an odds perspective. From an odds standpoint, that was the second biggest upset that boxing had ever seen, only matched by the biggest upset potentially in sport, only beaten, by the biggest upset potentially in sports history in Mike Tyson versus Buster Douglas, which was like a 60-1 favorite. I think AJ versus Ruiz was like a 42-1 favorite. So this is completely different. This ain't even remotely in the possibility of a successful outing. But Jake, in the span that we saw the likes of Jake Paul get 5 years, 6 years of success, at that same time, Anthony Joshua would have been national amateur champs. I believe he has some golden gloves and on his way to becoming a heavyweight. Anthony Joshua spent more years as one of the best heavyweights in the world. I believe Anthony Joshua spent more years rated within the top 3 of heavyweights than we've seen Jake Paul fight for the entirety of his career. Jake Paul has never fought somebody above 180 outside of Mike Tyson. And even in that fight, again, 60 years old. The experience, the most experienced boxer he's ever faced is Mike Tyson. Outside of that, it's been every other fighter has never fought in boxing before in their careers as a whole. Or if they did, it was Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. and the brother did not even sustain himself at the top because he was 10 years an addict. Genuinely. And so the problem is, this should not be close. If it goes past 3 rounds, that is a shock. If it goes the distance, that is almost blasphemy. There's no world where he should be able to win this or can win this. But if he did win this, this would be, bar none, the biggest upset that we've seen in boxing history. It would. You can at least say Buster Douglas had been fighting his whole life at the heavyweight division. You can at least say that Andy Ruiz had been a legitimate, or at least had the claim of some of the fastest hands in the heavyweight division. Though he was undersized, though he looked out of shape, the brother genuinely had at least some level of rapport. You could see the talent he had. He had been in the game. Yes, it wasn't likely that he was going to win, but it was indeed okay. There is something of a skill level and experience there. You can't say that for this fight. There's no experience. There's no continuity. There's no previous success. It's just been straight up. He was fighting people as a non-boxer who were also non-boxers. And then he evolved into turning into an actual boxer and still kept on fighting non-boxers for his entire career. And all of a sudden, you knock out mind you, still in his physical prime. His career may not be in his prime, but still physically, he still is in his prime. Or close, or at least within that realm. Because AJ has been able to sustain, again, he's an Adonis. The style is what's messing him up, but the ability of what he can do is still there. It's still there. There's still few people as physically gifted, if any, in the heavyweight division as Anthony Joshua. That's just the truth. To have him go and lose would be worse than Andy Ruiz. And it would be worse than any other upset that we've seen in boxing history. Worse. Worse in every way. Worse in every way. His career would be in the dirt. His legacy would be in the dirt. I dare say, even with him having the success that he's had over the course of his entire career, it would be called into question. Or at least it would be like, we don't talk about the latter half. And I guarantee his name would be dragged through the mud. His name would be dragged through the mud if he lost this fight. It would. I shudder to think. I can't even think. Because it can't happen. It literally cannot happen. This loss can't happen. Because if it does happen, I shudder to think. That's what I can say. I shudder to think. I shudder to think what exactly would be the landslide of chaos that would ensue if he in fact did knock out Anthony Joshua. Not beat him, knock him out. Because that's the only way he can do it. And let's be real. He doesn't even have the power. Be real. He doesn't even have the power to knock out Anthony Joshua. And we say Anthony Joshua's chinny. Also, Albuga, how you doing? Good to see you. Thank you for tuning into the show. So glad you're here with us on today. Like I said, we're talking about the Eubanks fight. We're still getting into the whole thing with watching the weigh-in. They just had the face-off with each other right now. This is the championship rounds, so you all can drive the conversation. For however long we go on this show, it's up to you, the viewing and listening public. But as I was saying, in regards to answering the question of Love King, Jake Paul doesn't even have the power to knock out Anthony Joshua and Anthony Joshua's shinny. You know what? Because he could not knock out Mike Tyson. Again, that fight counted for both of their records. That fight is legitimately a fight that is on Tyson's resume, as has been every fight with Jake Paul. He has been actively trying to knock out everybody that he's faced off against. And when he faced off against an actual heavyweight, just the threat, mind you, I won't even get into the defensive side. Just offensively, this man was not able to knock out Mike Tyson when he landed flush on him. Now, it's crazy that Mike Tyson still has a chin and the ability to take a shot at 60 years old. Y'all saw my reaction when we were watching that fight live on this show. I was jumping at every punch because I was scared. Oh my gosh, I don't want to see the brother knocked out. I don't want to see that. Thank goodness he didn't. And it's a testament because there was some stuff that landed and it was like, hey, the fact that he stood up to that, I'm more than impressed. But he just might have iron inside of his chin. But if he can't do that to Tyson, even if you want to say Jake Paul or Anthony Joshua has no chin, that's fine. You ain't got no power I don't even think you got the power to hurt the likes of Anthony Joshua. And the only way you can do it is landing flush to the head, and you ain't gonna hurt him downstairs. All Anthony Joshua has to do, if we talk about this fight, is just shell up and walk forward and throw the jab. Throw that jab, just do this and force Jake Paul to the ropes. He's gonna get tired walking backwards. He can't move for more than 4 rounds before he starts getting winded. If you literally just walk in like this and just shell up, let him attack your body because he ain't gonna hurt you, and then boom, just keep on backing him up. You ain't gotta land everything. Just keep on throwing this while walking him down. Next thing you know, he's tired just by going backwards by round 4. Just like he was against Chavez, just like he was in every fight that he's been in. Especially now that he's going to have a heavier weight. He was tired by round 4 against Mike Tyson. Or you saw him getting winded by round 4 against Tyson when he was at the heaviest he'd ever fought at 238. He's going to have to get to 240 potentially against this fight with Anthony Joshua. There's no way he's going to have stamina. After fluctuating down to try to fight Gervonta Davis, there's no way he has stamina. There's no possible way he has any stamina this fight. None. And off the backs of him having to fight off the back foot, he's going to get tired just from moving. Like he always, but this time quicker. Anthony Joshua could just clinch up and just hug him if he wanted to for 3 rounds and then just let go. Now Jake Paul's tired. All right, bang. You're out. It should be so easy. A jab should knock down Jake Paul coming from Anthony Joshua. Because Joshua has that strong of a jab. Against heavyweights, the actual heavyweights, yeah, they can take it. They can. But you see them knocking their head back, making them, it hurts. It's a hurtful jab. Against Jake Paul, but you could tag him with the jab and knock him down. You could tag him with the jab and stun him. Off of just this alone. And because he's got to lunge in, because he's so short in this heavyweight division, he's so bad at trying to get inside against fighters because he lets all of his defense go to try to load up with that big old jab downstairs or that big old sweeping hook downstairs. Guess what? Up, step back, boom. Up, counter jab, boom. Up, uppercut. You're dead. You're dead. There is no possible way that he can win. There's none. There's no way he can win this fight. And if he did, it would be a bigger upset than we've ever seen in boxing history. Let me see. I have a hard time believing this fight is really happening. I would give Jake Paul all the credit in the world if this fight does happen. AJ will look for, and like, that's the thing. Again, Mike Carpenter just confirmed it. We got a date, December 19th. We have official rules. It's going to be sanctioned under Quisenberry rules of boxing. It's going to be legitimately on each of their fighters' records. It's going to be in Miami. And it's going to be a legitimate 10-round affair. They're fighting under official rules. I'm dead serious. I'm dead serious. Because this is AJ that we're talking about. Unless Jake Paul finds a way, the only way that we can see something go wrong is Anthony Joshua gets hurt, and or Jake Paul gets hurt and finds some way to pull out of the fight. That's it. That is it. There's no other way. Because, mind you, there is nothing fake about this fight. Nothing fake about this fight, because this is Anthony Joshua we are talking about. This is Anthony Joshua we are talking about. Just off the back of the Ngannou fight alone, how seriously he took that affair. And that was how seriously he took that affair with Francis Ngannou. Off the backs of, again, multiple wins up until that fight with Ngannou, when he was still trying to recoup and regroup his career. This fight, he's coming up a loss today and do what? Brother, this is a literal comeback fight of the first fight since you got knocked out, where there are questions lingering about, hey man, are you still elite? You mean to tell me he's not going to take this thing as serious as death itself? He is. And I'm telling you this right now, he is looking to legitimately damage Jake Paul for life. That is his mentality. He threw the shots with Francis Ngannou, and it kept Francis Ngannou on the ground. He knocked out Francis Ngannou, and he was out for 3 minutes. Ngannou was on the ground for almost upwards of 3 minutes after he got put to sleep. The commentators were saying, we need to get some medical attention to Francis Ngannou. He's still on the ground. I do hope everything's okay. What a knockout. But, hey, we need to make sure Ngannou's all right. He still hasn't gotten up. The commentators were saying that about one of the most dangerous men in all of boxing, who nobody in the sports world had ever seen him hurt before. This is the same buddy who fought against Alexander or Alistair Overeem. This is somebody who then talks about, we're going to fight John Jones. This cat just knocked out a 6'7" monster in a minute and a half in his first defense in the PFL. It's somebody who knocked out Stipe Miocic. After Miocic had been able to beat him with groundwork, defended the ground game, and then knocked him out with a hook, a short hook, and walked him around the cage. We're not dealing with just an average brother. That AJ did that too. He's going to try to do worse to Jake Paul. I guarantee you he is. I guarantee you he is. I promise you, he will. I don't think Jake Paul will go through with it. I don't think he has a choice. Because if not this fight, what else can he do? That's the thing. I'm not trying to turn this into a Jake Paul show, but without Anthony Joshua, what else can he do? Deontay Wilder? But those were the two names that we said. Because the criteria is, we know nobody will watch the fight through Jake Paul unless they top the absurdity and spectacle and name value of the previous fight. We know that. And he kept on building. Nate Diaz, Ben Askren, Tyron Woodley, then Tyron Woodley again, then Anderson Silva. Then he had 2 bum fights and nobody cared. against people that, again, actual boxers, but against tomato cans that were worse than the competition he had already faced, and nobody cared. He then goes out and fights who? Mike Tyson. My gosh. Topping everything. Before that, he fought Tommy Fury, and he lost that fight, but he still was able to keep momentum. But he kept on amping up the absurdity up until now. He got into a fight with Gervonta Davis, and then even with one of the three biggest names in all of the sport, in Gervonta Davis, the stadium still didn't sell out. Adjacent to Tank Davis going through all of the alleged allegations that he's going through now. Before that, it still wasn't selling out. And then, boom. The only people that we would even want to see him in the ring with now, Canelo Alvarez, because that's his other main goal, or a legitimate heavyweight. That's his size. That's it. Those are the only two options. Nobody old, nobody over 45, nobody with no experience, no UFC fighter, somebody that's been boxing as long or longer than the likes of Jake Paul with a similar level of experience or more. And the only person that fits that bill to a T is Fabio Wardley, and he's not fighting Fabio Wardley. And there's nobody at cruiserweight that he can get a fight with outside of Zerto Ramirez or Jai Apatai as just known names that would be able to make people invested in the fight, in which, again, he would die in both of those situations. There's no fight left for him to take except for this. That's it. Unless he wants to go through the ranks of actually trying to become a legitimate world champion by fighting contenders that are at the level but don't have the name, and you beat them. That's it. Outside of that, there's no easy cachet to get to success anymore, because you used up all of your chips on the absurdity. And now people are seeing through it. People don't like it. People want to see you against somebody that they know you're behind the 8 ball with, and that you don't have the advantage over in either weight, age, experience, or all three. This is that time. So there's nowhere else he can go. So he's got to. If he wants to continue MVP promotions and or stay in boxing as a whole, this is the only way he can do it. Because he's not going through the actual normal process of being a boxer. He's not going to go through that. He's not going to go through the rigmarole. He's not going to go through and put in the work like we've seen with others. He ain't going to do that. He is just going to fight the biggest, easiest names that will get the most notoriety, and everybody's then going to love him or hate him. But they're going to watch him. And then after that, he's gone. That's it. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. That's all he is. So he doesn't have a choice. For his own promotion and for his own continued notoriety to continue this train. It's a very lucrative train. This is the only way he can go. This is the only way he can go. Joshua will probably fight on the Ghana card. He will. The Ghana card is still agreed upon. He still is going to fight on that Ghana card. This fight with Joshua or with Jake Paul is the tune-up for that Ghana card next year. That's why this fight got agreed upon and it's done in a month. It's happening in a month. In a month. It is the 14th now. This news happened on what, the 11th? No, this news happened on the 13th. The fight date is the 19th of December. He's got upwards of what? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. He's got 35 days to get ready for this fight. This is supposed to be a tune-up to get him in place for that Ghana card. And then, again, further getting the hype up for that Ghana card because, you're the man that beat Jake Paul. You're the hero of the day. You ended this charade, and now everybody wants to see what you're going to do next. You take Jake Paul's star power and you put it on your own, and Anthony Joshua already has star power. It would just add further to an already dominant Goliath of a superstar. It would. So, it ain't. Telling. It's We know the game. We know the game. That Ngannou was spectacular and scary. Jake is insane to get in there with AJ. Yes, that's like, again, that Ngannou took Tyson Fury to the limit. That Francis Ngannou took Tyson Fury to the limit as a boxer. Even the worst version of Tyson Fury, which that was the worst version of Fury, would still beat most heavyweights at that point in time, or at least a good chunk of them. A good chunk of the elite heavyweights at that point in time, that a bad Fury still would have beaten. And that was the worst Fury we had seen. And it shouldn't have been that it was even a test still. That was the heavyweight champion. That was one of the two heavyweight champions of the world. Tyson Fury was considered at that point in time as the pound for pound in the heavyweight division best boxer at heavyweight. People had him above Usyk still at that point in time. Same question about why are you taking this fight when you got an Usyk fight right there absolutely was true. And guess what? Still he was seen as the top heavyweight in the world. Rightfully, or at least understandably so. I said it was Usyk, but even still, understandably so. He was given that moniker. This is the man who knocked out Deontay Wilder twice. There's no way he loses or struggles with Francis Ngannou, who ain't a boxer in the first place. Lo and behold, he gave him work. Gave him good work. That's not normal. Ngannou was not normal. Jake Paul is. Ngannou was not normal. Jake Paul, he's at least less than normal. He's abnormal in the worst way. Hence why he's going to get destroyed. The problem is when there's too many Americans in the same division, the fights that happen. Well, again, that's more so, like we touched on in the past, in the American zeitgeist of boxing, a lot of people have taken the identity of Floyd and applied it to themselves or how to move about through their careers, both promoters and boxers. So it used to be 70s, 80s, 90s, from the 20s on, from the 10s on, up until the early 2000s. We were getting quality fights consistently against the best of the best, American or not. Especially from American fighters. Now, since when Floyd came along, that changed. It changed immensely. It changed drastically. And it was hard. It was hard. We're getting out of that mode now. Because we're getting both American fighters and every other fighter who looked at Floyd, moving off of Floyd. Again, now everybody's trying to be like Terrence Crawford. Okay, I'm going after the best of the best where they are, and I'm going to beat them. That's good. That's great. That's phenomenal. That's what we want to see. The role model is different. The global role model was Sugar Ray Robinson. Then it was Joe Louis. And then it keeps on evolving. Then it was Muhammad Ali. You see then it was Mike Tyson for a lot of people. It kept on getting passed down of who is the standard that we look at. Roberto Duran. For a time it was him. Sugar Ray Leonard, for a time it was him. That whole Four Kings saga, it was them collectively. They were the standard that made the sport what it should be like. They were the standard that was where the sport should go. This is the direction this whole sport is heading. Where we're heading, or where I'm heading. Then when Floyd came along, he took that mantle. This is where the sport is going, and where I'm heading, and where he headed. It was lucrative, but it wasn't nearly where it needed to be from the standpoint of the best for boxing. Now we're getting back to that best standard, because now Terrence Crawford is the new standard that everybody's trying to take and latch on to as we want to follow him. That's who we want to be like. Canelo had that standard as well. He was carrying the sport on their back. He was carrying the sport on his back, absolutely, for years. No question, the face of the sport for over a decade. But that also came with a caveat. He was the face of the sport. Everybody wanted to be like Canelo with the fame. But everybody was still holding on to the business idea of Floyd Mayweather. Canelo wasn't even moving like Floyd. But Floyd still had such a big pull on the division and on the world of boxing as a whole. His identity kept on transcending as to this is the era, even when I'm gone, it's still going to linger up until it gets shunned out. And now Terrence Crawford shunned it out. And with big names like Inoue also doing the same thing, Benavidez doing what he did, Usyk as well. You see how we got out of that mode? That's what we wanted to see. And thankfully that's where we're at. So I'm Lord knows I'm glad we out of that era. Thank goodness. And the featherweight division has not had a unification since that is true. That's true as well. And like I said, it's a lot of it was following the identity of Floyd. I can have success and I can be where I am and make a bunch of money without having to be in the mix of the action. It wasn't just his division. It was the whole sport followed that same moniker. Build up fights. Wait them out. Wait until it gets too big to set records, and then you go and make it. But making it when it's prime ain't the best money move. And that's where stuff gets bad. That's where stuff gets problematic, and that's where we get the real heart of all this frustration. That's where we get the heart of a lot of the struggle, which is a shame. Really, truly, it's bad. Truly, it's bad. But let me see. Conor Benn 159.5, Eubanks 159 flat. Yep, we just saw the weigh-in for both of them, and now both of them they both made. Well, I think this is actually the biggest. Eubanks has come in at the 160 benchmark, hasn't it? Excuse me. This is the biggest. Conor Benn has came in for the 160 bar. Because last time I think he came in, he was 156. Now he's 159. Half a pound under 160. In fact, he's weighing more than Eubanks. That's insane. Shoot. Oh my gosh. That's incredible. That's phenomenal. So so we're going to see if that extra weight adds to some extra power. And that can equate to him getting the knockout that we said he could have gotten last fight. And so this adds some more intrigue, adds some more investment to it. I'm excited. And they both look good. Especially Eubanks. He looked good. And excuse me, not Eubanks, especially Conor Benn at 159. He looked good, at least based on the weigh-in. Anyway, let me see. Anyway, we'll have to unify the division. No, he will. He will. Most likely. If most likely it's going to be. And I hate this. I really do. Unless. Hold on. Unless Fulton, regardless of whether or not he wins against O'Shaquie Foster, comes back down to 126 and attempts to fight the likes of, give me a fight with Nick Ball or Espinoza or Angelo Lee, and says, I'm going to defend both belts at the same time. Unless he does that, or comes down, if he loses to O'Shaquie Foster and says, all right, well, I tried, didn't work. I'm going to go back down to 126 where my best weight is, where I feel my best, and then I'm going to go, somebody give me a belt because I'm still champ at 126. Somebody going to unify. Because I doubt Nick Ball's going to push to actually get unification. And Nick Ball could be the biggest needle mover in that whole division. But I doubt he's going to actually make a move to get unification. Because again, he's waiting on, in a way. At least that's what it's looking like. We got a lot of people calling out. Anyway, we even got the likes of Shushu Carrington, which I'm going to play the clip of him saying what he thinks he's going to do to Inoue. But it's a lot of hold up. And honestly, it shouldn't. It really shouldn't be. Let me see. Tony Berkshire, what's going on with you? What it do, Malcolm? I mean, see, all because of the parting glass. Now, granted, I did get these glasses because they were, I did always love Malcolm X's glasses because I like the frame and I like the style. And I think my face fits it. So, it might be a little bit too on the nose. Let me go over here out a little bit, keep this thing sharp and boxed up. Oh, yeah. You going to see. Oh, man. That's going to be funny. Shoot, you know what? I even got the goatee. Now, I ain't got the whole connecting thing. I ain't got the whole connecting goatee and beard that are all together. I ain't got that. Now, if I get there, oh Lord, you're gonna be me sitting here with a suit and tie and say it's gonna turn into a whole nother channel. I'll tell you. Oh man, but how you doing? Appreciate you tuning in. Hopefully, leave a like on the stream. Please do leave a like on the stream if you are here, just to get the likes up and help us out. Absolutely, again, helps with the algorithm. Helps push everybody to see the hottest show in all the globe right here on YouTube and every podcasting platform imaginable. So hey, help me out. Help yourself. Leave a like, keep on watching, keep on sharing, keep on drawing the conversation, because this is the championship rounds. If you didn't know, every Friday, the whole show is dedicated to you, the people, to let you all have whatever you want to say, be said, and be talked about or debated here on this show, in boxing or beyond. Whether it's the NFL, NBA, movie, sports, you know the whole spiel. Whatever you want to discuss, we can discuss it right here for you all. Absolutely. But let me see. The Benn Eubanks pressure was iconic with the fathers facing off. It was special moment. Let me tell you something. That is going to be most likely a signed frame poster that somebody's going to be able to buy. That image is something that we may never see again. I'm dead serious. I'm so serious. How rare it is to have two fathers and sons healthy who have both reached or gotten close to the top of the same sport, be able to say we're all connected together, literally by blood, because we shared it in the ring. That, like, we're most likely we'll never see that again, or it's gonna be a hot minute before we see that type of moment again. Because it went from the fathers were, the sons were talking at each other, the sons were staring each other down. Eubanks came in and started posing like he does. And then when Eubanks came in, Nigel Benn was in the back. Nigel Benn stepped up, and next thing you know, they started going face to face at each other. And they started jawing. And it was like, wait, it was like chills. It was like, oh my gosh, are we about to have the rivalry continue right now? Forget the ring between father and son. We didn't know what was going to happen because it was so many emotions, but it was so much history, and it's like it was respect and love, and also like we want to win, but this is something bigger than just the rivalry, which is insane to say. It's blossomed into something more. Yeah, I get it. Eubanks probably would never like Benn, and Benn would never like Eubanks, no question. But still, the whole thing all recognized in that moment, hey man, this don't happen every day. That's why they all started shaking hands with each other. They started literally arm in arm, posing for the cameras at the end of it, because it was like they could have just kept on jawing and walked away, but that was special. I'm not gonna lie. That was special. That was truly special. Let me see, Mr. Miyagi, how you doing? Good to see you. Thank you for tuning into the show on today, on this afternoon. Jean-Luc Salute all the way from UK. Salute to you as well. Y'all got a cracker of an event getting ready to happen tomorrow, and I wish I could be there with you all, because I guarantee you that stadium is going to be rocking. It's going to be loud. It is going to be, I'm going to stay hydrated, please, because that energy in that city, in that stadium, it's going to leak out to every street, every pub, every bar, wherever you can get your hands on the fight. You're going to be sweating. You're going to be like, what's going on? I'm sitting down. But you actually ain't. You standing up because you're going to be so invested. And I understand. Doggone it, man. It's gonna be phenomenal. But again, salute to you, and I'm so glad you chose to tune into our show on today. Let me see. Benn by 5th round KO. He's gonna be more calm in the fight. He will set up shots better in this rematch. See, there's another one. I told y'all we got some people. There's a lot of people. There's a lot of people picking Conor Benn to get the KO this time. There's a litany of people saying that Ben's gonna take it. It's got me rethinking my pick now. I'm thinking y'all see something I don't. Now, it's not because I'm not saying it can't happen, but you know what? I know what it is. That last statement, the calm statement, I didn't take into account that he might not be revved up on 10 this time round and might be more, and cautious is the wrong word, be more surgical with how he tries to work his way in to do big shots and, like you said, setting stuff up better. That might have been the biggest thing I've been overlooking in this fight. Conor Benn's temperament coming into this. That might be the biggest thing I've overlooked in this fight. And I will raise my hand and say, that's my fault. The temperament of Conor Benn. We talk about poise a lot on this show. Poise is a big fact. Big, huge fact. And what can make or break a fighter. And he got reckless last fight. The energy, the need, the aggression, the fire. It still is Conor Benn, but it was a Conor Benn that had holes, a lot of them, and Eubanks capitalized on a lot of them. But if he's able to be calm in the environment of focused rage, it could equate to a more surgical type of affair and attack. That could be why a lot of people are saying this knockout's going to come. Now, 5th round, that's early. That's really early. My gosh. Shoot. If that did happen, that would be insane. But I'm not going to rule it out. I'm not going to rule it out because I did not look at it from that perspective. That brings a new wrinkle. That brings a real new wrinkle into this affair. But let me see. This Benn Eubanks fight, this Benn Eubanks fights are just special. Yeah, man, it's something special. And you're right. We might not see something like this again. We might not. And let me see. Sharp, I'm talking about the haircut. Yes, indeed. I'm looking clean, part and all. Everything is fresh and new. I got to make sure I wash my caps, my wave caps, so I can be sure I can start doing my hair and get my stuff lined up so I can keep this incredible figure and look nice all the time, at least for long. Maybe I don't got to get a haircut as often, but even still. Oh, man, but even still, it's going to be great. It's going to be phenomenal. Let me see. MS, what's going on with you? How you doing? Good to see you. Thanks for tuning in to the show with us on today. So glad you're here with us. Looking sharp, clean, fresh, and good. Yes, indeed. I'm glad everybody's liking the haircut. I'm glad I'm looking lined up. I'm going to tell you something right now. Hey, if I was jagged, we were gonna get it. There was gonna be some. We gonna have a conversation. We're gonna have it. If I was looking, we're gonna have a conversation off the camera and the barbershop. Might be some furniture moving, if you know what I mean. I'm kidding. If my barber's watching, hey, I'm playing. You do a great job as always. Hey, it's just jokes. Unless you mess up, it's just jokes. Just so you know. Oh man, it takes a minute for a certain dude, or it takes a minute for certain dudes. I didn't get my goatee connection until my late 30s. It might be. I mean, hopefully, like okay, you can't see it on camera well, but it is there. I have a mustache, and I got it trimmed up, but it I think it's going to connect. Eventually, probably 30s, probably in my 30s. I wouldn't be surprised about 35. All of a sudden, I'm looking like Stretch from NBA Street, Volume 2. If you played the game, you would get the reference. But because like I said, anime, video games, I'm into it all. But I probably look like that, most likely, or whatchamacallit? I think was it Dr. J. Yeah. I'm probably gonna look like Dr. J. From the standpoint of the goatee, it's gonna all connect together. And this thing, I guarantee, this thing's gonna grow. And I want it to be like Ron Cephas Jones, but that played the barber on Luke Cage. If you've seen that show on Disney Plus or when it was on Netflix, whatever the case may be. But yeah, that's what I'm planning. Hopefully it does that. And if it does, ooh, I'ma look good. Yeah, I can't wait for it. Though the upkeep, I ain't trying to get nicked all the time, but even still, we're gonna see what takes place. Let me see. Top Rank needs to get Shoo out more often. Oh, I forgot. Speaking of Shoo Carrington, I need to make sure I get this clip for you all because I did want to touch on what he had said in regards to Shoo discussing his opinion on what he would want to do, or what he's going to do to the likes of Noya Inoue, and why, and what his opinion on this whole fight with him and Nakatani is, or rather what he is not anticipatory for in this fight with Junto Nakatani. And I think it's going to be more so he's scared Nakatani's going to be the first to beat him because he wants to be the guy. But again, I'm going to play like, let me read these chats and then I'm going to play the clip and then we can have a conversation about that as well. But let me keep on reading. There will never be something like this again. Enjoy. Absolutely. One thing I can respect about Zayas is he's bringing movement to the division. And hey, look, I finally got to see a clip of his opponent. Or finally, I got some time. Let me not say finally. That sounds bad. I got some time to take some opportunities to start doing work on who exactly his opponent is in terms of Abbas Abreu. And this is what he looks like as a fighter if you are not familiar with him as a warrior. Now, I'm not going to play the sound because I ain't trying to get copyrighted. So just so you know, and you ain't gonna hear nothing, but you'll never be able to see it. And as you can see, this man is up close and personal. I mean, my gosh, what was it, 8 punches in succession? But it looked like he got it. Mind you, this is round 12. Mind you, this is round 12. This is round 12. And this brother's throwing like, this brother's having this much type of volume. And he is very much a inside worker. I'm gonna show you the whole highlight because how it ends is also something to catch your eye on as well. But this is who Zayas is facing off against to try to unify the division. Big shot there that he took, I'm not gonna lie. But again, he keeps on coming. He is not going to rest, and this brother will not stop the pressure. I'm going to be interested to see how Zayas handles this because this is the brother who, he got some heavy hands. He got some heavy hands, as you can see right there. Again, finally beat his man to being able to having to get to the canvas. Again, I believe this fight ended with, it still went the distance, but you see exactly the type of relentless motor that we're going to see Zayas have to face off against. That's going to be, hey, that's going to be some work. That's going to be some real work from the standpoint of pressure. Now, Zayas is a great mover. He should be able to handle it. He shouldn't be. He should be in a situation where he's not moving like that, or he's not standing in the pocket just trying to trade away with a boss in order to try to get him off of again. Please, who was it? What was it? Was it Fogan, the brother that we saw in the clinch fest this past weekend? That was like a terrible fight. Don't fight like that against this brother. Please don't. Against Stevens, don't fight like that. But this is, it's going to, hey, I'm not going to lie, that's a pretty decent step of a competition because this for a title. And this brother could give him some legitimate trouble. Some legitimate trouble. Let me see. Trying to make sure I'm catching everybody that I can. Nasuwak versus Takuma is really getting pushed like crazy this fight. Yeah, no, over in Japan, yeah, it's starting to get some real momentum. I mean, people are getting really excited for that fight. Incredibly excited. Is that happening this weekend or next weekend? I can't remember. I'm gonna look it up to make sure. Zayas versus Zayas versus Abbas Abreu. Baro, excuse me. Is it Baro? How do I say his name? It's Abbas. I think it's Abreu. Abbas Abreu. Hopefully I'm saying it. If I'm saying it wrong, I apologize. But it's gonna be a good fight. I can't wait for it. Eubanks chin, that's what it is. He might get chinned. Abbas could upset Zayas. He could. I really don't think he would, but he could. If Zayas gets drawn into, hey, I'm gonna try to get low and bang with it. They better not do that. I'm gonna say he better not do that. That first fight, Ben was like a wild man swinging bombs. Yes, he was. Ben looking less spoiled brat. This time out, it could make a change. Absolutely. Absolutely. Ben could go to the body to open up the chin a little bit more, and Ben will set up his shots. But so a lot of people see this new temperament changing into a new fighting plan for the likes of Eubanks, for the likes of Conor Benn. We're going to see that take place. We're going to see. Hopefully that's the word. Also, RO, what's going on with you? Hey, how you doing? Thanks for tuning into the show. So happy you're with us on today. Appreciate you joining in with us. Leave a like on the stream if you haven't already. Keep on subscribing. Keep on talking. Keep on putting your voice out into the conversation. We want to hear from you because this whole show is dedicated to you all on today. Now, we can't go as long. I do got some important stuff I have to take care of on in the afternoon. So I can't go the normal 3-hour routes. We are going to try to fit as much as we can within the 2-esque hour window, or rather, within the 2-esque hour window, if possible. If we can't, then we rock. If we can't, we're gonna do our best, because I do have some important stuff. Just to give you a full disclaimer, we're gonna still make this as packed up as packed as possible when it comes to giving y'all entertainment. It might be a 3rd round KO, because if he does it, it will be early, so 5th round ain't that far. I mean, maybe. It's a question, but again, I just don't see it that much. But it's still gonna be, hey, however long it lasts, boy, it's gonna be fun. I feel Ball is wasting his time fighting 122-pounders. Hey. You ain't lying. You ain't lying, brother. You ain't lying. You're not lying. You're not. There should be. I don't know how many title defenses he's had, but there's no way that he has not gotten into a position where he can't go to unify, at least attempt to do it in some way, shape, or form. Even if it's against Angelo Lee, fine. Or I think Angelo Lee. Go ahead. Let's do something. Make a move. Call somebody else out. I've heard more talk about him fighting against Inoue than I have about him against the other champions at 126. So that's fight against TJ Doheny, who fought Inoue. And it's like, he beat Ford, which is, again, is a great win. I'm not denying that. But since that, it's been nothing. Or at least it hasn't been in the division, hasn't been forward moving into success and forward moving into furthering your dominance in the division, when we see you as one of the 3 best names there, with you, Espinoza, and Fulton being, again, I'm not saying Angelo Lee isn't a great champion, but of the hierarchy of talent, you up there in that 3 amongst the 4 belt holders. So you should be moving like such. You should be, but you ain't, and I hate it. I despise it. Ball was supposed to fight his mandatory, the Argentinian kid. Yep, he was. Absolutely. Now he's fighting Figueroa. The Sam Goodman fight was decent learning curve for Ball. He really has never fought a pure boxer before, and that's why we need to see him fight a champion. Because he's dealing with people that are going to be pure boxers and also be boxer punchers. At this point in time, the fight with Ford was great. Why? Because that was a boxer punch that could be technical. The fight with Goodman was a surprise to me. But Goodman put on a great display because he could box. He could box really well. And so if these inklings are right, hey, man, it's getting, the more and more we see you fight this type of more fundamental, speed-driven fighters, the less and less success we're starting to see you have in the dominance of what you are as a fighter. It ain't the same. We ain't breaking down people the same way. Though, again, you're still breaking people down, but the struggle's getting more and more. And the adaptation is not, for me, ain't being shown as necessary of where I see you at in your career right now. Because if you're still waiting on Inoue and you putting on these types of displays, especially against names that, again, they're pushing you. But we also know there's better on the horizon right in front of you. Hey, you better not wait around. Better not wait around. Because it can be problematic for you. It can be problematic. I'm telling you. You better stop wasting time. You better stop wasting time. Nick Ball always struggled against that style. Yeah, you will. But getting better against that style is what I'm looking at. And it isn't the evolution against the same stuff hasn't taken place yet. And who he's calling out can master that very thing that you are struggling with, and you haven't shown that you've gotten any better in that regard. Fighting against that type of style. That's why I'm saying this is a problem. For me, that's why I'm saying it's a problem. Fulton would be catching ball in the pocket. Yes, he would. Absolutely. Let's see, what has happened to Michael Quell, the WBA interim champion? How did Brandon get the fight with Ball before the interim champ after getting lost? We're all asking the same thing. We are all asking that exact same question. That's the issue. That's literally the problem. Yeah, that's literally the problem. Let's see, Xander's fighting for the unification and still hasn't fought a big name. Now, again, Xander Zayas fought himself into a position to get a world championship. We've been tracking his rise. Now that he got there, now he's going immediately after winning the title and not taking another defense against, an average guy. He's taking another belt in his own, or he's going to try to take another belt against a boss in Puerto Rico, which I got to say, hey, you can argue that a boss from a talent perspective may be the weakest champion out there, but Zayas ain't wasting time trying to make his stake known in the division. I can't say nothing against that, but it's getting the title immediately. He's literally going after a title immediately after winning his first one. He could be the youngest unified champion in boxing right now after he was already crowned the youngest champion in boxing as of today. Not in history, but in terms of, like, in boxing right now, he's the youngest out of everybody. And he's been moving quick. So I can't speak against that. So it's like, he is a big name. This win is going to validate whether that name is real or not, because we see him as an elite talent at the division. And once he does get this win, well, now all roads lead to anybody else at 154. Now it's Fundora. Hey, you at the door. Now it's Bakram. Hey, you at the door. Boots or Virtue, you at the door. Majimov, you at the door. You there. And so you're the name to beat now if you be the boss. You were already a name because you were already a champion. Now you're bigger, even more so, not just because you're cachet, because now you got 2 of the 4 belts in the division. There ain't nothing I can say except for, hey, man, you moving. You legit trying to move like a champion. I can't take nothing away from that. Queller got out of his chance to fight for the belt. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. It's painful, but it's true. He got robbed. I respect Brandon Figueroa. He should not be getting this title opportunity. He should not be getting this title opportunity. Not at all. Let me see. Zayas hunts belts while the entire division ducks Bakram. And I'm going to say this. If we do see Zayas, if this brother goes, mind you, it's not likely. But my gosh, just imagine. Zayas beats a boss. Zayas puts on a great performance. Zayas immediately calls out the winner of Josh Kelly versus Bakram. And he commits to it and tries to get a fight in the summer against the winner for the belts to become unified. And that would be 3 fights, 3 wins, potentially 3 belts. Oh no, 3 fights, 3 potential wins, and 3 consecutive belts won back to back to back at less than 25 years old. You know how insane that is? You know what I'm saying? Brian Norman's 24, he's a champion. That's already impressive. That's already impressive. Brian Norman's a champion. That's already impressive. And he's 24. Bam is unified. I believe he's either unified or undisputed. Multiple belts, multiple championships. I believe he's undisputed at 24, 25 years old. Zayas is younger than them. And he could potentially be on his way to a 3-division championship title around his neck and around his name. At less than 24 years old. That would be insane. If, again, he went about that way. Will he? I don't know. But if he does, hey, talk about a run. Talk about an insane run. Let me see. Virgil, Lubin, Mendoza, Bojux. Oh, excuse me. I'm assuming you mean Boachuck. Hold on. Hold on. That stopped me for a second. I was trying to. Virgil, Lubin, Mendoza. I believe you meant to say Boachuck. They're all fighting each other the top in 154. They are. Or excuse me, it's either Bojack or Backward, one of the two. Either of the beats, either one of them. You can mix and match. All of them are indeed getting it on with each other, which is great. We have been again, sound like a broken record. We've been saying this before. The division is moving forward now. The cogs are starting to turn in the wheel of the hottest division in boxing from a talent perspective at 154. That's not a question. That's not at super welterweight. It is there is a litany of a firecracker that can blow up the whole division in a good way and make it so that everybody's trying to fight each other left, right, and center and popping off trying to be great. It's phenomenal. And it is unavoidable in some regards. Hopefully, well, prayerfully. Because there ain't real no great way you can move at 154 to avoid some level of competition. There really ain't. For the standpoint, if you don't take a fight, but you take another one outside, the only people that you can't fight in other potentials is Errol Spence. And that fight, again, should not happen with anybody. Virgil Ortiz or the like. I'm telling you. It shouldn't happen. Oh, shoot. Hold on. Wait. Oh, gosh. Hold on. Wait a minute. Hold on. Oh, Lord. I about broke my remote. I about broke my remote. That's my fault. Hey, I'm sorry. I got you locked in. I got you invested. I got you invested. I got you invested. That's my fault. That's my bad. I got you invested in Cabo. Let me calm down. Let me keep on going. Buckram and Kelly is a match. Oh, it's a matchroom show. Okay, all right, that's good. Hopefully. If it's a matchroom show, that means it's under Eddie Hearn. Yeah, if it's a matchroom show, it's under Eddie Hearn. If it's under Eddie Hearn, guess what that should mean? We should be getting promotion of Buckram left, right, and center. I better see Buckram on every television screen and every other advert that we see the Zone put on, because they better not waste time not marketing this, but they better not. This is part of this is the prime time to get your name out there by making as much noise as possible in the build up to the fight. You have to. We got to make it happen. You got to make it happen. Hopefully, prayerfully it does. Let me see. Sorry, I'm getting more convinced. The American boxing star is just waiting for low-hanging fruit, aka Virgil and Boots. Feel like they would just wait for an undisputed champion to emerge and then fight. And again, it is a bigger problem than just American fighters. I'm not saying Americans ain't doing. I live here. Absolutely. Again, the effects of Floyd Mayweather still hold tightly to a lot of the boxing prowess for people around the globe, but especially here in the States. I have no issue. Tank Davis is a perfect example of that very identity going about and affecting the world of boxing in a bad way. Absolutely. But in light of that, we're getting out of that era and it is not being accepted anymore. See, here's the thing. And, well, actually, let me read the rest of the chat, and then I'll go back to this conversation. I just watched back some Fundora, other fights. I feel Buckram will dismantle him. Yes, he will. Fundora will destroy him. Oh, excuse me. No, I'm sorry. Buckram will. Well, excuse me. I'm sorry. I'm not Fundora. I read that name. I'm thinking Figueroa, but I'm saying Fundora. My apologies. Buckram, I think, will knock out Fundora. Fundora, from the past fights like with Mendoza, and even like the first Tim Tszyu fight, he's not that fighter anymore. If you go back and watch the fight with Tim Tszyu the second time, now that's a different fight. Even the fight with Lubin, yeah, he still got knocked down, absolutely, but he has improved. I can't deny that. It wouldn't be nearly as easy if Backwam fought against Fundora now as it was if he had fought him 2 fights ago. Dismantled, I would have used 2 fights ago. I think just straight up knockout, but it's going to be work. It's going to be a lot of work. It's going to be a lot of work. Or tougher than what it would have been. Because Fundora's legit. Now, his talent, yeah, he's legit. I can't speak against it. I gotta put some respect on it, legitimately. Because he has changed for the better. But Backwam, I think, will knock him out, but it would be tougher. Whole lot tougher than what I would have said upwards of a year ago. Whole lot tougher than what I would have said it would have done a year ago. Let me see. Spence should be fighting Thurman and Virgil versus Fundora for the title. This is what it should have been. This is what it should have been beforehand. This is what it should have been before Fundora even got a fight with Keith Thurman. After Thurman had knocked out Jarvis, it should have been that he got a fight with Thurman first and foremost. In terms of Spence. Let me finish. It should have been that Spence had gotten a fight with Thurman. If it was going to be, if Spence is only going to fight for titles or big names, and Thurman's trying to get back to a championship opportunity, well, fine. Put 2 old people that have been out the ring for 3 years, get the ring against each other. Whenever that gets legitimate rights to have an opportunity to fight at the higher up level, that would make sense. But sadly, this is where we are. And so it's a shame. But real quick, going back to the Mr. Miyagi's chat initially, because I said I was going to get back to this. Floyd's influence is waning, and because of that, the boxing populace is being more vocal about you wasting time and waiting around. Especially with now Terrence Crawford being the new standard for how boxers should go about their careers. The public's saying, hey, we don't want bum fights against lesser competition anymore. If that was the case, the outrage against Tank and Jake Paul would not have been nearly as loud if we weren't seeing a shift and change, which is great, which is phenomenal. So the effects of the Floyd Mayweather era are still there, but they're starting to wane. And we're seeing across divisions, younger stars going after big-time opportunities. Abdullah Mason fighting Sam Noakes to become unified. I believe it's for unified. No, excuse me. It's for one of the belts, the WBO belt. And he's incredibly young. Schofield, whenever he is actually able to get in the ring, has been elevating his competition. Scorches fought Cepeda and is looking to take on big tests like Teofimo Lopez. Brian Owens fighting Devin Haney, a former undisputed champion at 24 years old. Ben Rodriguez was going to fight Junto Nakatani next. If I believe Junto's promoter, Mr. Honda, who I believe is who Ben was talking in reference to, was saying we can wait on that fight. Because we're, again, looking for, anyway, you get what I'm saying. So we're going to hold off. But outside of that, he's trying to push the pace, and he's already undisputed. We've got Xander Zayas right now. And is just got a title at under 24 and is already trying to unify in his next fight. We have pieces moving that are great. We are just saying we still are going to have instances of people avoiding, running, and or just fights falling out where it just doesn't happen. But now the public isn't accepting of that anymore. And we're paying with our wallets or not paying with our wallets. And we're using our voice to give people notice, hey man, we ain't supporting this type of stuff. And it's starting to work. It may be slow, but it's starting to work, which is what we want. Which is exactly what we want, thankfully. Thankfully. My gosh, thankfully. And again, the last thing, the only person that has the luxury of waiting around for an undisputed title before going and grabbing all the belts in a big fight is Crawford. That's it. That's the only brother. Nobody else in the sport has that luxury with their status right now in boxing. He's the only man because he legit set himself apart from everybody else in the sport right now. Everybody else. With what he's done for his entire career and what he did to Canelo. So it's like, yeah, That's the only man that gets that type of pass. Everybody else, yeah, get to stepping. Get the move. At least in my opinion. Let me see. Just some thoughts. How does a division become a hot division? Because if you look at 126 and 122, the division is full of talent that people don't know. But it does take to have. But does it take to have a star in the vicinity? A hot division is what's filled with talent and notoriety, and it's tough. Now, mind you, understand when I say a hot division, I'm not just saying that 54 is the only hot division in boxing. 135 is incredibly scorching right now with the amount of legitimate talent and potential fights and vicinities of, hey, there's a lot of moving parts. Even 140, kind of 147 with what everybody's moving with right now. Rolly upsetting Ryan Garcia, Devin Haney fighting Brian Norman, and the like, and I'm forgetting. It's another brother that's doing some stuff, and I'm forgetting the name. A hot division is a factor, at least in my definition, a combination of talent, a combination of depth, and a combination of notoriety. 154 of all the divisions in boxing has at this point in time the most balanced out talent from 1 to 10. At least 8 of them are legitimately quality contenders that you can't really move up or down without getting a fight that is, there's some level of, hey, this is going to be something, this could most likely be a hard fight for you. Most likely. And because of a lot of the people that are seen as big time threats are all around the same place, there's a lot of volatility. And with Boots coming in, further push that notion of, oh my gosh, we got movers and shakers everywhere. And again, Tim Tszyu, Fundora, got a lot of notoriety. Tim Tszyu as a name was also big and notable. Bakram knocking out Tim Tszyu did set the world ablaze from the standpoint of who the world is this cat? In Bakram. How do you just do this to Tim Tszyu? When Tim Tszyu still has some cachet. Keith Thurman coming back into the division as a legitimate name. With the report that he used to have before retirement. All of it, it's a lot. Fundora evolving and becoming, okay, this brother, he's knocked off a string of wins and he made Tim Tszyu quick. Crazy enough, a lot of this division got notoriety because Tim Tszyu kept losing. If we're gonna be honest, the ball really got rolling when Tim Tszyu started losing. All of a sudden, everybody else started seeing, wait a minute, there's a lot of people beyond just Bakram and Virgil Ortiz and Tim Tszyu. Hey, Fundora, this ain't the same Fundora that got knocked out against Mendoza. This ain't, Keith Thurman is still looking like he's got something left in the tank. My gosh. That's a quality name with seemingly some real talent. Virgil Ortiz speaks for himself. Boots coming in speaks for himself. Madrimov, who fought against Terrence Crawford and who was a former champion before losing again to Crawford. Bowacha, who had a war with the likes of Virgil Ortiz and then lost twice to Adams. All of a sudden, Adams now, we got to put the respect on his name. You see how enough big names are there that there is some widespread notoriety and enough movement has happened to where the whole division has now shooken up to where everybody is still viable, but everything is unpredictable. We don't know who's the top dog at 154. We can assume we don't know, and there's about 3 or 4 people that got claimed to it. We don't know if Zayas is going to be there. Zayas already got his own following, and he's moving this quick. It's a combination of star power, the motion of the division, and the fights that take place that capture the imagination, and the quality of talent throughout the top 10 to top 15 of the division. That's what makes a division hot for me. 122 is incredibly hot. 118, incredibly hot. Any weight class below 135, More likely 126 and below. Well, 118, 115, 126, and somewhat 130. Most of those divisions, they hot, but people don't know them because their audience for over east, huge. Over here, it's not as well known. Here in the States, 135 is our benchmark of notoriety that we will willingly care about. Outside of that, most of us here in the States, which is sad, but it's the truth, most of us here in the States won't care about anybody who is below 130. And even at 130, don't matter. Shakur Stevenson was one of the biggest names coming up from 130. He was. But guess what? The only other name there that people recognized fully was Jamal Herring, who he beat. And I would also argue Oscar Valdez as well, who's again a legend. Both of them are. But beyond that, the division wasn't really well known for the vast majority of people here in the States. And so for us here, 135 on up, people start to care. And then from there, what are the big names? That's what a lot of the people over here in the States think. But for me, it's the combination, the caliber of talent, the movement of the division as a whole, the star power in it, and the volatility behind it, where anything is possible and there is a lot of people that can beat a lot of people, all within an arm's reach of each other. There's no easy route to go. That's hot. That's hot. Like Will Smith said, that's hot. And for this, it's a hot division. That's what I qualify as a hot division. So star power does take into account, but it's also a plethora of other factors for me that help make a division really worthwhile. Man, can Fedor take back on power shots? No, but he's gotten better defensively. Now, would that help him? Not sure, but yeah, it's iffy. It's iffy right now. If Lubin can knock him down, yeah, Backwine can knock him out. So he can't take the power clean, but he's gotten better defensively to where he might not be able to get hit as much. That could be the factor. Let me see. To show talent looking just like Cardenas, he fought anyway 122 higher level, stacked the same with 126. Yeah, no, you're right. And most of the people in the smaller divisions, they fluctuating up and down. It's insane. But again, people don't know. And so if you're not in a way, is the light that shines on the whole of the division to show you there's some quality talent. But even without Inouye, there's quality talent out there. Martin DePaulis is great. Diego Higa, it's a phenomenal boxer. Tajiri, former pound for pound. You got is it Hida? But we saw on the undercard for Brian Norman, who was a relentless motor tank. Incredibly fun to watch. There's a litany of people that are great. They're in multiple divisions. It's just people that don't know. Even Fulton got disrespected, and he was that buddy was the best 122 pounder, and was on the verge of being pound for pound, and was a big American name. People still didn't care to some degree. Why? Because it's 122, and not those higher weight classes. These here in the States. So it's a problem. Before Virgil Ortiz and Boots in this fight, they should beat a champion and fight each other. No. Don't do that. The idea is great. The idea is phenomenal. But we've seen too many instances of a big fight that should have happened fell apart because they can make it bigger with added incentives. And then we never get the fight out right. And now everybody's crying because everybody's saying, dang it, what we wanted we never got. Anthony Joshua versus Deontay Wilder. Should have been that they made it right then and there, but instead they tried to make it, you beat him, and then you'll get the opportunity. And that even made sense. Something falling on my thing? Okay. Just trying to, that even made sense, but beyond that, yeah. What was it? Okay, yeah, I thought something fell. What was I saying? Oh, yeah, Ortiz. when AJ versus Wilder, it even made sense why they weren't fighting each other immediately for that situation. Because Wilder was coming off a loss, AJ was coming off of a loss, both of them trying to retool their careers. Okay, fine. You win each other, then you can fight in a big payday against each other for a winner, most likely getting in position to fight for a world championship. Cool. Devin, but we saw what happened. Somebody fell through. Devin Haney, Ryan Garcia, rematch that we wanted, something fell through. Because somebody couldn't hold it at the end of the bargain, and the rematch just didn't happen. When it should have just been, that's the main event. Too much buildup and too much trying to make a perfect storm can make for the storm falling apart. And we don't want that. So I would say, make it happen now. That's what I would say, make it happen now. Let me see, Just Do Boxing, how you doing? Good to see you. Thank you for tuning into the show. So glad you're with us on today. We appreciate you coming in and tuning into the show with us. Appreciate you. Peace to you. And hopefully you're having a great and phenomenal afternoon. 154 doesn't have a lot of superstars. It has warriors. And guess what? Those warriors are turning into names that people are starting to remember. You can be a star by doing the work. And for that division, a lot of them have been doing the work. And that's why it's helped to make everybody a star. Because all of a sudden, when you look left and right, ooh, Boachuk is good. Oh, Buck Farmer is good. Oh, Adams beat Boachuk, so he's got to be up on the level, at least above Boachuk or around with Virgil Ortiz. Okay, so now Ortiz ain't just the biggest name there. Now you got a litany of people. Don't forget you got Fundora as the champion, who is still looking better and is still the biggest, legitimate, tallest threat in the division. All of a sudden, who's gonna be able to stifle the 6'6" towering Inferno at this stage right now? Maybe it's Boots Ennis who just got into the division. But he's locked in with Ortiz. Well, don't forget, they could both fight Spence. We want Spence to come back just in some way, shape, or form. It's got so much uncertainty, yet so much volatility. It's all there. It's all there. It's a cauldron of chaos, but in a good way, not in a bad way. It's a cauldron of chaos because you don't know what to expect. Because any fight, most fights that get made there are quality. Most fights that are going to get made there are quality. We're just waiting on the fights to get made. We're just waiting on the fights to get made. We're just waiting on the fights to get made. That's the biggest thing. That's the biggest thing. That's what we're waiting on. And so it's thank you, Tim, for your contribution. Look, this ain't no shade on it, because again, Tim Sue losing ain't bad. It was just, that was kind of the catalyst for all of this stuff starting to come about. Let me see, the Moat Network, how you doing? Thank you for tuning into the show. So glad you're here with us on today. I still want to see Thurman versus Slim Door. I do. I don't think it's gotten rescheduled, and I don't know if the fight is completely off or if it's going to potentially take place. But we'll find out later on inside the show. 122 is very stacked as well, absolutely. Neverete versus Nunes at 130 is going to be a war. That's going to be not just a war. I'm telling you, I'm confident. Neverete at least becomes unified at 130 and then moves up to 135. And I'm telling y'all right now, everybody better be scared of Neverete at 130. I don't care how much you think he is sloppy. Everybody better be terrified of Neverete at 135. I've come to be a believer that this cat can do some damage against anybody. I don't care what style. I don't care how technical you think you are. Brother, he is, it doesn't make sense. He's a literal walking conundrum. He is a walking, what's the word? He is a walking math equation that should not exist in terms of success, but he gets the right answer every time. This man's going to be a problem. He's going to be, I've watched this man at 126. I watched him against Oscar Valdez. I watched him against Wilson when he got countered. And I thought, this is it. He's going to lose. And he still came back and was able to win. I've seen him get better with his head movement. I've seen him somehow keep his offensive caliber while elevating his defensive game without it compromising what should be a compromised style. It is an equation that should not be able to put out the right answer, but it keeps on doing it. And it keeps on getting more and more definitive, more destructive every time out. He's a menace. He's a menace, man. He's a menace. Neverete versus Nunes. I'm looking forward to that. I got Neverete winning. I'm telling you. I got him winning by knockout. I do not think Nunes can take that level of uncertain offense. I don't think he can. And at this point in time, you can't hurt the brother. Outside of Wilson, I've never seen him hurt. Outside of Wilson, I've never seen him hurt by somebody. Never. Only one time. And again, he got the knockout subsequently after. That's it. And he this is not disrespecting Nunes. I strongly don't believe that we're going to see Neverete be put on a back burner in this fight, just like with every other fight. We're going to see Nunes get put on the canvas. I'm so serious. Or the fight gets stopped because he gets bloodied up. He's going to be bad. Let me see. OG Blaze, what's going on with you? How you doing? Good to see you. Thank you for tuning into the show. So is Boots versus Virgil happening? At this point in time, no. Be clear. At this point in time, no. It's not happening. Now, will it happen? That's the answer that we're waiting on. That is the question of the day. That is the moment in time that we are trying to figure out. Because Virgil met him in the center of the ring. Boots and Eddie Hearn kept his word. They both said, yes, we want that fight next to each other, in each other's face. And then subsequently afterwards, we see Virgil saying, I don't care who I fight next. Who I would really want to fight if I could choose would be Errol Spence Jr. because that's my dream fight. Doubling down on that sentiment yesterday on a podcast, I believe the 10-8 podcast that you can find, I think it's on YouTube or anywhere you listen to podcasts. Shout out to them. He doubled down and said, I can fight whoever I want. And again, now I'm paraphrasing. That was a quote. I can fight whoever I want. That's a quote. Paraphrasing, it doesn't matter what anybody else says. I can go through and control my career. I fought Boachuk. I fought Lubin. I've done the work. I've been in the ring with multiple, with incredible fighters. I've done my part. And I'm able to control what I can do. And I don't care what anybody, Roy Jones or anybody else says, but I can do, I've earned the right to do what I want to do. And so, and I'll even give the full disclaimer that in that very podcast, I believe earlier in the show, he did say, yeah, I would love to fight Boots next, but I can do whatever I want, leading into the sentiment and the words I just quoted to you. So the message is being propagated in the fight that we desire, and the fight that he said that he wants ain't lining up. The opportunity that he said that he wanted of fighting a big name, getting the opportunity to be in a big time star situation, like with Boots, where he's already at right now, and he seemingly is talking in every way that ain't correct. His trainer was saying that he's injured, and he hurt his hands. And so he's got to take some time off. And I'm like, wait, are you sure? Because one, didn't look hurt in the fight with Lubin, and two, that seemed like didn't hold you back from doing what you needed to do, because you could have postponed the fight then if you were already injured. So something ain't lining up. We got some problems. We got some major problems. And boy, we don't like that. So I don't know. Well, I'm going to say no for now, up until we hear otherwise. Because at this point in time, nothing is showing that it is going to be a different mode of movement. At this point in time. Let me see. Boots and Virgil is not going to happen. I hope that ain't the case. I really hope it does. But right now, all I can say is no. It's a toss-up. Both pressure fighters, but Nunes has a bit more technique, but Neverete is a beast. And you know what's crazy? Technique doesn't matter. I've never said that about anybody. But for Neverete, technique does not matter. It doesn't. Risk is what matters. That's the easiest way I can talk about Neverete. Technique is out the window. Risk, what risk are you willing to take to fight Emmanuel Neverete? That's the only way to beat him. What risk are you willing to take to fight Neverete? By that I mean, are you willing to take clean shots, hypothetically, to land in positions where Neverete has no way of escaping, but is guaranteed to clean your clock with 3 shots. Because if you ain't there, you're going to miss and pay because he's so awkward, and you're going to be on the back foot every single time you don't want to be because you are not able to fight him just technically. You got to risk it all against him because that's exactly how he fights. It's ridiculous, but that's the only way to beat him. Because if you try to technique against him, it's almost null and void unless you're up here. It's almost null and void. You got to go and be willing to say, I'm better at taking risks than you. Because that's the only way to hurt him. That's how Wilson hurt him. He took a risk. He stood in the pocket, used his reach that he could reach him, and he went and said, I'm gonna take one to give one. And he caught him. It didn't back up. That's it. But if you back up against him, it's over. It's done. Let me see. They want to marinate the fights. They want them to lose the hybrids going. That's the problem. That's why I do not want to see them wait around. But it's a pain. It is a pain. It is a pain. AJ and Wilder were champions at the same time and never fought each other again. That's because of Wilder. Wilder took the fight with Tyson Fury instead of taking the upwards of $100 million to potentially $300 million deal to fight on the zone with fight on Matchroom with Anthony Joshua to unify the belts. That's the problem. It was Wilder who didn't take the opportunity. Again, it created one of the best trilogies in boxing history in the modern day for heavyweights with Wilder and Fury. But it was there that Wilder could have fought Anthony Joshua. And winner of that, I believe, could have been undisputed. Because AJ was unified, had 3 of the belts, and Wilder had the WBC. And everything, including the lineal, would have been on the line. But Wilder went the other way. So that's why that fight didn't happen. And it's a shame. Never defies logic. That's what makes him dangerous. Absolutely. And it's insane. What do you think about a potential fight between Haito, Satsumi, and Neverete? Haito better stay away. Haito, you better stay away. Stay away. You better stay away. Haito, you better stay. Haito, you better stay away. You better stay away. Not right now. Not right now. Not right now. I don't care how quickly you move. You ain't ready for that. I'll say that confident. I'll say that definitively. Haito ain't ready for that. Not yet. Barely anybody is. Not saying that Haito isn't a great talent, but I know I know the threshold that I got to see you be at to be able to beat the likes of Neverete. And right now, you ain't there. And that's not disrespect. Most people ain't there. It's a horrifying sentiment to think about that you got to fight this brother right now. Because you got to be a different type of animal. You got to be almost insane from the standpoint of what you do to approach that fight to go in and beat him. Because that man, who he fought, was it, who was that, buddy? Hold on, who was it? Let me see, hold on. Wait a minute. There's one fight that was a perfect example of where you think somebody has the ability to beat this cat and they don't. Where was his name? Robinson Conceição. Conceição fought this buddy to a draw. A majority decision draw. And this buddy got knocked down twice. Mind you, that was a hard fight. That fight. Wait. I did click on the wrong. Okay, yeah. Okay, yeah. I had to make sure. I had to make sure I clicked on the right thing. But that fight, that was hard. Dennis Berinchik actually got a win over the likes of Neverete. He did. And then subsequently afterwards, Buddy went on a tear. He went on a tear. And he got better and better and better every single fight. Like, the man's a monster. The man's a menace. The man is a menace. He's a menace. He is a hard-pressed menace, man. That's a bad thing to mess with. Let me see. They turn into superstars and they cash out. They don't want to fight nobody. They can lose. I hate it. I really do. And again, that sentiment's starting to get out the window. But man, it's gonna take a minute. It's gonna take a minute for that to really get out of the system of boxing. Don't forget, Navarrete did try to fight at 135 for a vacant belt, but lost to Ukraine. Yep. He lost to Derek. I just read it. Absolutely. For the WBO, and that was the one that Keyshawn won. He did. Again, that Navarrete versus Navarrete now has gotten better and is incredibly scary. I'm not saying that he is not beatable. I am saying that it is hard. Either you got to have a certain style again, like a Dennis, or you got to be again built insanely different. Because you're gonna come out there losing something against that cat. And even when you think you're doing the right stuff, he still turns the tables up. No, you're not. Especially now. Mind you, when he moved up, lost, and then subsequently afterwards, he's been working defensively to be able to blend his offense better so that when he's coming forward and punching, guess what? You ain't catching him like no. And it's opened up new angles of his ability to attack that he already had angles that didn't make any sense. This ain't the same fighter. I'm not trying to be a broken record. I'm only saying to people that it applies to. I've been watching this cat. I was watching this cat in college. This is not the same brother. This is not the same brother that lost to Dennis. It ain't. It ain't, man. And that's what makes it so scary. That's what makes it so scary. I just saw the newly announced, Cruz Murtala for January. We went through that as well earlier. And the Cruz versus Murtala is official for, I believe it's January 24th. And so we are incredibly excited to have that fight going about. In fact, I got the post right here that I can bring up for you all to see once again, if you haven't already, for the announced fights that are happening in next year, because again, next year is going to be a very big litany of cards and events as a whole. As you can see, I'll make sure I scroll up and scroll down fully, be about like right up here. Andy Cruz versus Murtala, Bakwan versus Murtazali. Let me make sure y'all can actually see the thing. Okay, yep. Lee Woods, Warrington, and Navarrete versus Nunes, all happening. Back to back. And don't forget as well, we still got rumors that T.O. and Shakur are going to fight in January. Either January or early February. One of those two, regardless of which. It's going to be bangers. Just bangers everywhere. But real quick, I did want to make sure I played this. Because we were talking about Shushu Carrington today. And I wanted to make sure that I got this clip shown for you all to see in regards to him discussing
And he said
his wanting to fight the likes of Inoue and what he's trying to do with his career. Let me just play it right here for you all to see it right now, because I did promise I was gonna play this earlier. Let me make sure I actually get that played. My gosh. So we ain't lying on people. Here we go.
we had Richardson Hitchens on the show, right?
Yeah.
And he said, hey, man, we love our Brooklyn fighters.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Well, he didn't claim
Wait, hold on. No. Wrong clip. That ain't it. Here we go. This is the clip I was looking for.
I've been calling this dude out since, I would say, 2023. Wow. And, before he got knocked down, before he seemed less you know what I'm saying? Yeah, exactly. Like, I was the guy that was there because I see certain things that falls right into my style that he lacks. I am here to take the fight.
You're looking at Nakatani like, damn.
Yes,
like,
I am.
Beat me to it, and you're looking like, oh man, he's gonna get there first. Is that what it is?
Yeah. I want to be the first guy to beat Naoya anyway, man. And that'll definitely make a big difference. A big difference, man.
So look, we
now. Here's the thing. I'm gonna say this with all due respect. And I love Shushu Carrington. I really do. I am all well and good and advocate. This was going to be great. He's going to be successful. He's going to have a phenomenal career. But in seeing and listening to that, I'm telling you right now, that is not going to happen.
Hey, look at this. We got some problems here.
It's not going to happen.
We got some problems
And that ain't
here.
me trying to hate. I'm telling you all, I can guarantee he is not going to be the first man to beat Inoue. He is not going to be Inoue. Not right now. Not a year from now. Maybe 2. As he continues to progress. But it's going to be, this ain't me trying to sound like a hater. Because I love the ambition. I truly do. And I love the that he wants to push the pace to this degree. Absolutely. But at the same vein, brother, shoot, I don't even know if you can beat the likes of Espinoza at 126 right now. The likes of Stephen Fulton right now. Though I know you are, well, actually, hold on, let me make sure he's in the vicinity of that. Let me make sure I got the weight division. So I know he's around 122, 126, or 130. Let me make sure I have I got the right stuff surrounding him. Lord knows I do not want to be wrong in this regard. Because he can put a hurting on people. 16 and 0, 9 KOs. The brother is insane. Absolutely. And he fights at featherweight. So he fights at 120. So he fights at 126. So yeah. Right now, I don't have him beating Espinoza. Right now, I have him struggling with the likes of Nick Ball. I truly do. And right now, his focus should not be on Inoue at 126. Nobody's focus at 126 should be on Inoue right now. Not because Inoue is not somebody who is special. Not because Inoue is not somebody who is indeed on the way to that division. Be clear. I know that he's there. I know that he's coming. I know that he is getting ready to make moves in the near future to get to that division. But he is not there. And more importantly, you got bigger fish to fry trying to say that you deserve shots at the world titles. Now, today, you don't need to worry about Inoue coming up right now. Not an inkling of note should be on your mind in regards to having Inoue as the forefront of, I want to be the guy to beat him. I'm scared Nakatani's going to get him first. Guess what? If he does, it would make sense. Because if we're going to be completely honest, Junto Nakatani, for me, outside of Espinoza, is the biggest threat to Inoue losing at this point in time. Between here and 126. That's it. And if anybody's going to beat him, it sure enough ain't going to be you. With all due respect as of right now. Because you ain't there yet. You're at the elite level of competition, or at least you're at the known level of competition right now in the world of 126. But even with that, brother, you in the mix, but you ain't. There's still levels to the level that you're trying to get to earn a shot at beating him. I don't think you get what you really are asking for. Stephen Fulton was a better technical boxer than you, and he got outboxed clean, without remorse, and then got knocked. You see, I don't think you get it. Stephen Fulton got outboxed for 8 rounds, and then got knocked out. He didn't get boxed into a knockout. Inoue switched his own mentality in round 8 and went from, I'ma beat you at your own game. All right, I've done it. Now it's time to end the show. Turned it into a fight before Stephen Fulton had a time to think. That jab to the body that was working the entire time, he went from the whole fight. Boom, boom. Now the fight's over. That's all it took. All it took was for him to get aggressive, and next thing you knew, Stephen Fulton was on the mat after Stephen Fulton had not an answer in the world. And he's a way better boxer than you. With all due respect, he's a better boxer than you. He's a better, especially now. What skill set he showed now since moving up to 126 and what I think he's going to show at 130. He's a better boxer than you. And you ain't messing with that. Not at this point in time. Not at this, if you can get up to the level of Espinosa, we got conversation. But until then, there's no way I can confidently say. I'd be, if I was on the panel, I would not say it in a mean way. Absolutely not. But I would have looked him dead in his face and said, hey man, you would slow you up. Hold on, whoa. Hold on, time out. Big talk. And absolutely have that goal. You don't need to worry about that right now. Because if you do, you're going to shoot yourself in the foot. This ain't what you need to think about. Because at this point in time, you have the ability to compete up there. But until you prove it up there, you ain't going to, I'm not going to say that you can beat that kid. I'm not. And I'm surprised Max ain't trying to get him. I'm surprised Max ain't say nothing to him. That's what I'm shocked at. I'm surprised Berto ain't say nothing. Because, like, y'all know who we dealing with. Y'all know who we're talking about. This isn't me trying to shoot down dreams. But this is me also saying, hey man, if you want to get to anyway, you got to have your priorities straight. You can't look down at him before you get what you need up here. Because if you can't handle what you need to handle up here, as definitively as possible, you're not going to beat him with him coming up to you. You're not. So you got to stay focused. Because this can be bad. This can, I'm genuinely shocked that he went about that way. And I'm shocked nobody tried to steer him in a different direction, because I really don't think, this isn't me trying just to hype up anybody. I don't think he gets what he's trying to get into. I don't think I don't think he really understands. Like, you may think you're ready at 126. And you can see flaws, you don't. You can see issues, you don't. You see him get caught, and you think I can do the same. It ain't the same. It ain't the same, because if it was the same, it would have happened more than twice. If it was the same, it would have happened more than twice. And if it was the same, it would have been a downfall that second time. But, yeah, you better be careful. I'm going to say you better be careful. Let me see. Rhoda, anyway, KOs him in 6 rounds. Character has not impressed me that much. And see, here's the other thing. I ain't been as impressed with what I've seen from Shushu. Not because he ain't a great fighter, but because from the pomp and circumstance, and again, I'm glad that he's got about him in his career, he hasn't imbued a sense of danger to what I can see this division. He's a great fighter. But he hasn't imbued in me, he hasn't instilled in me a sense of danger or ire or concern of what it can do to the higher ups at 126. He just hasn't. He hasn't caused me to look at this division and say, you know what? There may be some real struggle that these folks are gonna have when he gets to that vicinity. Yeah, it hasn't happened yet. Because he hasn't shown that yet. Forget just the elite level, just him as a fighter in Shushu Carrington. At the level that he's at right now, which again is good. Yeah, it ain't great. That's like me trying to be just a stone hard if you ain't this, you ain't nothing. No, but it also is me saying, if you're going to have those types of aspirations, well, you got to understand the reality of this situation. You cannot be just there to go where you want to go. You got to push your game up to the stratosphere. You have to, because if you don't, forget anyway. But the business you got to handle right now, you might not be able to be done. I'm dead serious. You might not be able to do it, but let me keep on reading what you all's chats have to say right here, right now. Can't wait for Junto. Can't wait for Anyway versus Junto, because I believe we will Assuming we see Inoue's full skill set come out. And I can see Inoue doing Junto dirtier. I mean, I don't know. That fight with Junto and Inoue is such a godly, man. The reason why I'm concerned, because that's the one brother I can see that can do Inoue in. That's the one cat I can see do Inoue in. Him and Espinoza are the two biggest threats to Inoue as a fighter. That I can see, yeah, he beats him. It's the two biggest. And it's because that left straight. That left straight, and more so that check hook that he can throw with that right hand. Boy. That's the only person, in terms of Nakatani, that the issues of getting caught can be a detriment if Nakatani gets face off against him. But I'm also interested to see with how Nakatani handles the speed of Inoue. Because that's the biggest thing that I think shocks a whole bunch of people when they get in the ring. It's not just the power. It's not just the sharpness of the shots. Well, it's a combination of the sharpness of said shots and then also the speed at which they're coming at you. You see it on screen, but every time I watch a fighter's face off against Inoue face to face, the speed that they're dealing with continues to shock them. It's the very thing that makes them not want to go and try to commit to something. It's the very thing that makes them not want to go and push an envelope to try to be a real dominant factor, because they can't deal with it. They can't deal with the speed. They can't deal with the ability. They can't deal with more than the ability. They can't deal with the They can't deal with the explosiveness, the immediacy of an attack, coupled with the sharpness. Imagine Jaya Patai, how sharp he punches, but now with the speed of a Devin Haney. Hand speed. You understand that? Imagine Jaya Patai with the hand speed of, with the sharpness that he throws, but now it's coming at the hand speed of Devin Haney's jab. All of a sudden, you think you can handle that until you see it coming at you. And now you don't know if you really want that. You don't know if you really want to do it. Why do you think that Stephen Fulton was hesitant to try to counter what Inoue was throwing? Because Inoue was so quick and so sharp that Stephen Fulton could not attempt to go and react. Because even by Stephen Fulton's own speed, hey man, I can't catch up to that. I can't react to that unless I make a mistake. I'm gonna get caught, like he did. But he didn't even make a mistake throwing. He made a mistake defending. Stephen Fulton didn't make a mistake throwing a shot to get countered because he was hesitant speed. He made a mistake throwing a shot because of the speed of Inoue. Defensively, he made a mistake not throwing a punch because he reacted wrong to what was coming because of how quick he changed his level. That type of speed is something that you can teach it, but some people got it in a way that is too insurmountable. Inoue right now is one of them. That is a monster. That's a menace, man. That man is a menace. So Nakatani is the only brother I can see dealing with that. But even him, that speed is something that I don't think he's going to be able to withstand. I truly don't. I don't think he'll be able to withstand it. Early with the looping left hand hook, potentially, but man, I don't know. I don't know. How you see Fulton versus Foster going? I got Stephen Fulton beating Foster. I got Stephen Fulton beating Foster at 130. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But I got him outboxing. And if he fights the same way that he fought against Figueroa, yeah, I got him beat Oshaki Foster. I got him beat Oshaki Foster, and I dare say it might be surprisingly wide. It might be surprisingly wide. Yeah, the power, Oshaki, yeah, he can punch and all that stuff. I get it. Fighting at a bigger division, I get it. But you won't be surprised and how definitively I think we're going to see Stephen Fulton beat O'Shaquie Foster. Now, get it wrong or wrong, but that's how I feel. That's how I feel that fight going. What do you think about Vargas? Emilio Vargas. Some people say he's better than Abdullah Mason. I don't think he's better than him, but I do think he's around the vicinity. He's not better than Abdullah Mason. He might have a better chin, but he's not better as a fighter than Abdullah Mason. But he's not far away from what Abdullah Mason is as a fighter. Again, both of them are growing. Both of them are evolving as fighters, and they're both phenomenal. Abdullah's better, yes, because again, we're talking about Abdullah in the same breath as Shakur Stevenson, as competent competitors to take his belt, to potentially be one of the people to go and have a real shot at becoming undisputed at 135, to have a real shot at beating the likes of Tank. There's a reason. We ain't saying that just because of nothing. We're saying that because he's the man's truth, even at this age. But Vargas he ain't too far off. But Abdullah is, I think he is better. Abdullah is better. But Vargas, he's great. I'm not gonna die. You're gonna hear me talk against Vargas because but he earned the stripes. I think there ain't nothing I can say against that brother, except for I just don't think he's better than Abdullah Mason. But he's a great fighter, no question. Did you hear about Parker failed drug test? We talked about that earlier. We waiting on the B sample to come in. The fact that he popped dirty is insane, ridiculous, crazy, and it hopefully doesn't lead to any potential out of the ring issues that can be detrimental to his health. Hopefully. Prayerfully, this was just a mistake. Again, we were saying hopefully he got the original Coca-Cola where they used to put real cocaine inside the drink. Real cocaine. Real, some of that real sugar. Some of that real white snow. Maybe it was that. He has a taste for vintage drinks. Hopefully. Man, it's so unexpected from Parker. We were saying I was shocked. I was shocked and almost appalled. Not almost, legitimately, I was appalled. Because this ain't the Parker that I know. It really ain't. So it's wild, man. It's wild. Listen, Noakes and Abdullah might be the best fighter tonight. Yeah, you got an argument. Both of them got like an 80. Is it both of them got like an 80-something knockout percentage, I think? I believe. I know Abdullah does. I think Sam Noakes got a decently high knockout percentage as well. So I think it's like somebody's probably gonna get put to sleep. Now the chin of Abdullah Mason, we're gonna test it because that brother he can do the right thing defensively and still get caught as we've seen before twice. So he could be put in some trouble. I'm not gonna lie, but he can. I think he's still gonna be able to take him out. I think he's gonna be able to take him out. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be really good. Let me see. I watched some of Janabek fights. Hold on a minute. Okay, here we go. I watched back some of Janabek's fights. When Janabek gets in his flow, he starts to smile. Yeah, he does. He starts to. He'll even be eating shots, but he'll be already in his rhythm, and he'll start smiling. He'll start getting excited. And next thing you know, the damage starts to incur more and more. I have a feeling Benn will get a fairy tale ending, going against by getting a KO over Eubanks. A lot of people feel that way. He's got the calmness of him seemingly has affected a lot of people's notions of what he's going to be as a fighter coming into this fight. And that could be a potential blessing. Not a potential. That could be a real blessing, not even in disguise. That's a blessing that he needs. That's what that is. That's a blessing that he needs. And my gosh, we think we got a storybook ending coming. And crazy enough, I got Eubanks winning. But now y'all got me scared. That's the problem. Y'all got me scared. Y'all got me scared now. Because I picked Eubanks to win again. And my gosh, y'all giving me hope that we may see something go right. Oh, Lord. Oh, no. Next thing you know, Eubanks is on the cameras. 6, 7, 8. All of a sudden, Benn's up on the rope. Well, not even on the ropes. He's just watching, waiting tentatively, hoping that we actually see this brother stay down. And he does. But his dad's gonna be coming in. He's gonna be crying. Crowd's gonna be crying. We're gonna see. It's. Oh gosh. Oh man. It's. You couldn't write that in a movie if you wanted to. Couldn't write it in a movie if you wanted to. My goodness. We could see that. We really could. But let me see. Bruce Carrington. This is from Ramon. Ramon. Yeah. Ramon Vasquez. Shushu Carrington should fight guy like Joey Gonzalez or Ramon Cardenas. And I wouldn't be mad if Cardenas got a fight with Shushu now because of what he did against Inoue. I wouldn't be mad at it. And it would with the name and position and as well the ability of Cardenas now being proven against the likes of Inoue. And one of the biggest things he just needs to do is to stop throwing 100 miles an hour for the entirety of the time. Kind of like what Isaac Cruz, which is what he was doing against Inoue, and it worked up until he got tired. But if he can mitigate that stamina a little bit better, yeah, that can be some real trouble for Carrington. That would be a great test for both of them. I would love to see that. I wouldn't be mad at that at all. Let me see. When he gets into his flow, he becomes hard for his opponent, and I admire his work. And then he puts fires away. Yep, he does. Let me see. This is from Miyagi. I only say that because Junto reach isn't that much bigger than Inoue's, and the height Inoue has already seemed taller than Jermaine McDonald and Emmanuel Rodriguez. See, you're not wrong, but here's the thing: Nakatani, it's a weird thing about when I watch Nakatani fight. Even if his reach is close to his opponent, the way he fights is in a way that it makes it seem like it's longer than what his reach actually is, and it makes no sense. I can't describe it. It's weird. It's odd. It's strange. It's a what's the word I'm thinking of? It's when something doesn't make sense. It's not an equation. It's not a dichotomy. I can't think of the word. I know the word I'm thinking of. I know what I'm trying to say, but I can't say it because I can't think of the word to properly describe it. But there is a means where Junto, he fights and his reach just seems to extend well beyond what's on paper. I don't know how. I don't know why. But every time he fights, I see it, and it's like, hey man, I thought he only had like a 60 or 70 something, whatever the word his reach is. How in the world is he catching old boy from the other side of the ring? Where did that left hand come from? And how did it get to him? Man, it's fight like doggone Stretch Armstrong all of a sudden. And I see it every time. I can't describe it, but every time I watch him fight, that's what happens. And so that's why I'm saying, even though the reach may look close, it's going to be something that anyone's going to have to deal with. But Miyagi, you ain't wrong. But at the same time, like that check could come in anyway, may think he's out of range, but he ain't. I don't know how he makes it. I don't know how he gains reach, but the brother just does. I don't know how. It just happens. I don't think Judo has fought any puncher like Neri, let alone like, you right. You right about that as well. Judo would dominate 122 when Inoue leaves. Judo could dominate Inoue. Judo could dominate 122 now, with or without Inoue. Mind you, he could still beat Inoue. Don't forget that he could still beat Inoue. This is the one fight where I can say definitively, hey, brother, this man can beat Inoue. This is not there's a potential threat, but Inoue's going to take it to him. Nah, Inoue can be beat by Junto Nakatani, flat out. For real. I'm not trying just to hype this up. I'm saying legit. This isn't a big time deal for nothing. This is actually a possibility in a way that it's never been for any other fight in Inoue's career. That's why this is so exciting. Because it's beyond just a puncher's chance or beyond just a name against a name. But he can beat him for real. And he can beat the best of the division for real. Legit. It's insane. My gosh. Anyway, could be Angelo Lee, Nick Ball, Fulton, Foster, but Espinoza I don't see. Anyway, should stay away from him. And I'm going to tell you, Ramon, he ain't going to stay away from him. He's not going to stay away from Espinoza. I'm almost assured he won't stay away. That type of height discrepancy is just so big. I don't know with his stature against that. That's why I'm like, man, that's a tall task. That's a hard order to beat. That's a hard order to beat. That's the only other one that I'm like, man, I'm unsure. I'm unsure. Let me see. Also, Business and Groovy. Hi, brother. What's going on with you? How you doing? I'm clicking on your thing. I don't know why it's not popping up, but how you doing? So glad you're here with us on today. Let me let me do this, because some of these chats ain't loading or ain't moving when I click it. I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna copy paste and I'm gonna click. This is from Business and Groovy. Vintage drink slaving. I don't know what else to call it. We're trying to be brand friendly over here. Okay, we trying to get some sponsorships. Okay, so we got to make sure we can be we can be consumed by all ages in terms of content. So we want to be as wide reaching as possible. So you gotta be clever with your words when it comes to how we speak up here. But let me see. Let me keep on reading for you. I had to say. Also, Pounder NW, yo, what's going on with you? How you doing? Good to see you. Thank you for tuning into the show with us on today. I'm not trying to not read y'all's chats. I'm reading them. I really am. I'm trying to catch up with everybody. So, but let me read what you got to say. Do you remember Joe Parker? What? Oh, wait, hold on. Wait, what? Excuse me? I'm sorry. He had a scandal in 2021 in New Zealand? Joseph Parker had a drug trafficking scandal in New Zealand in 2021? When in the world did this happen? While he was boxing? Wait a minute. Hold up. Wait a second. What? Excuse me? I don't remember that. My gosh, we'll find out after the show. Great day in the morning. Somebody else research it if you can and find out for yourself. Well, because we do got a lot of people talking. I would love to go and delve into this, but we got too many people chatting, and we don't want to mess with the flow of the show. But great day. My gosh, if this is true, man, maybe this shouldn't have been a surprise after all. My goodness, maybe this shouldn't have been a surprise after all. My gosh, but let me keep on reading what you all had to say. Think about Nakatani. He throws too much uppercuts in close. It becomes repetitive. Yeah, he do, but it's because it works. It works. Again, you saw what he did in the Sheeta when he made a whole half his side of his face swell up because he was that relentless. Now again, he's not gonna be that reckless against Inoue when he fights, or I don't think he's even gonna be that reckless when he fights on the undercard with Inoue versus Picasso in December. He ain't gonna be that reckless. But I guarantee you, he ain't gonna get away from that because it's a dominant thing to his game. But let me see other things. Let me keep reading. Mr. Miyagi, Junto, Mr. Fantastic. Yeah, again, I don't get it, but it works the same. Junto only beats Inoue sleeping. I can't say that. I can't. Again, I'm thinking Inoue's gonna win, but I can't go that far because I have to admit, brother, that is not a man to mess with when it comes to Inoue being. When it comes to Nakatani as a fighter. Let me see. It worked. Oh, talking about the uppercuts. It works until it doesn't. And so, how do we say this? Most likely, Nakatani's gonna try to. I ain't gonna say that. I wouldn't be surprised if Nakatani tries to fight staying at range and making it so that he uses Inoue's own explosiveness against him. Because he is good at throwing them uppercuts. And the one thing, if we want to go back to the Stephen Fulton fight, go back to the Stephen Fulton fight. He kept going to that jab downstairs to the body against when he was trying to close distance, and he was at well and good range away from Fulton. But he kept on being able to step in so quick, almost like a flash step from Bleach If you've seen that show, great anime. You know, Bankai, The Swords, Soul Society, all that stuff. Phenomenal anime. Love it. Love it absolutely. Chad is my favorite character. I don't care. That brother can literally punch through a brick wall. And he's quiet, stoic, but like, love it. Absolutely. Love the show. The show as a whole is great. It's on Hulu. You can watch it. But Flash Step, we able to almost instantaneously close the gap. He's anyway can do that. Absolutely. But what could counter that is an uppercut. Well-timed lead uppercut. When anyway he has to go and reach downstairs. If he does close that distance. Now, again, when I say reach, I'm talking about reach. Not just up and up and out. Similar to a shot that we see the likes of Neverete throw. Now, Junto can throw that type of uppercut because he got such long, again, I don't know how it works, but it's a unique reach that, like, again, it can extend outward. That type of uppercut I could see catch, in a way, on those flash steps when he tries to get in on the inside and land something downstairs, even especially if it's a jab downstairs. It's gonna be hard to time, but it's something that can happen. Or a chopping right hand. A chopping left hand that comes about from Nakatani. Those are the two weapons that I know anyway better be concerned about. Left hook, absolutely, but at the same time, but that chopping left hand, when you do come in and commit to throwing a shot, Junto's got enough time. He may not have the speed of anyway, but he's got enough time in that, yeah, brother, you play that game too many times, I'm going to be able to take that chance against you. And I'll be able to make it successful. I can see that. I can see that happen. And it's going to be, boy, that's the one thing I'm concerned about. But it could work. I mean, Nakatani pocket game is limited to just throwing uppercuts. Yeah, when he's in the pocket, yeah. The biggest thing, forget trying to throw hooks. We shovel it. That's the best way I can call it. But we shovel it. We turn into 49ers. If you familiar with some of American history, 49ers digging holes in mountains, looking for gold. We digging up. We scooping from the ground up. That's what we doing. That's what he loves to do. Let's see. Anyway, can use feints to draw the uppercut and land a devastating. Yeah, absolutely. And you see what makes this fight so exciting. It's tit for tat. Work on work on work. A counter to a counter to a counter. Every time I can bring up what Junto needs to do, and then you bring up what Nakatani needs to do. Then I can actually bring up a legit solution for Junto. And then also I can then make another counter that I can see in a way throw. And then the amount of layered play that each of them can make based on the game plan of each other mid-fight is going to be something so special because it's going to be a constant, as both of them are able to do, elevation and evolution as the fight goes on for both of them at the highest level in their prime physically. This is an incredible event. That's all I can say. It's so exciting. We don't know much about Junto's chin. We don't. From the standpoint of, like, has it been tested? He's taken some good shots over his career. I'm not saying it's like, oh shoot, yeah. These names are the biggest biggest punchers. Again, he's faced off against incredibly quality competition. He wouldn't be in this vicinity of Inoue from the standpoint of why this fight's so exciting. I wouldn't be talking about him all these years the way I have been if he wasn't that good. He is that good. Be clear. Be clear on that. He is that good. He might be overshadowed by Inoue, but he is that doggone good. But he hasn't been tested because he hasn't been put in the same positions as Inoue. We also got to take that into account. Inoue does, from a standpoint of aggression, take more risk than Junto Nakatani with how he goes about fighting. It's opened him up to get caught in ways that Junto doesn't put himself in the same position as. Even though, yeah, he'll still be aggressive. He won't put himself, because of his style, he doesn't put himself in those same close quarters, potential devastating opportunities. Though he still has been in bad situations. But he's come out on top. We don't know We've known people of the caliber of Junto Nakatani's power have faced off against Inoue, and they've been able to put him down. So we can at least know that Junto has got the capacity to put him down. Nakatani, like you said before, like somebody said before, hasn't faced somebody of the same caliber in power and speed, like with Inoue, collectively. I don't know how he deals with that, and I don't know how his chin is going to react to a punch that he can't brace for, especially if he gets caught clean with some of these counter shots. Not some, a lot of these counter shots. That's where stuff's going to get sketchy. We're going to find out, and I have no doubt that Nakatani has a reputable chin. But you see, here's the thing. If you get knocked out by Inoue, that does not mean that you don't have a chin. Be clear. If he does get knocked out by Inoue, that doesn't mean that Nakatani never had a chin in the first place. That does not mean that Nakatani is just this brother, we can't trust this cat to take a punch. But it is Inoue that we're talking about. This is upwards of the 5 best punchers in all of boxing. Brian Norman Jr. got insulted when he was in the interview and they put his dollar amount, if you could create a fighter, as $1 compared to all the other names. What you mean, Inoue, is only $1's worth of power? Are you insane? His sentiments in the interview. If he gets put out by him, but that does not mean at all that Junto doesn't have a great chin. It just means you got called clean by one of the best punchers in the world today. Plain and simple. Because, like, he's done this to people that have never been knocked. He's done this to people that have never been knocked down before. Ahmad Ali has a phenomenal chin. That brother even got stunned against Inoue. That brother got stunned against Inoue. Inoue was literally playing around with him by the 5th round. And like, it is not a detriment. Or excuse me, it is not a detriment if you do get put out. So, yeah, here's what it is. And we working, we do what we need to do. So, and you move on, whether win or lose. So I don't think it's going to be an indictment against him if he gets put down. If he does get put down, I wouldn't be surprised. If he puts Inoue down, guess what? Also wouldn't be surprised. Because Inoue getting put down by Nakatani shouldn't be a surprise to anybody, because why? People of the same caliber of power have put down Inoue. Twice. So like, don't be surprised. I'm just realizing I just realized how Junto does it. He has a that makes sense. That makes so much sense now. Dang it. That makes so much sense. He fights so long because his upper body's so long. When he leans forward to commit the punches, he's not just punching with just this, he's punching with all of this as well. So next thing you know, yeah, you're doggone right, I'm able to reach. When this cat squats down to jab to the body, like he's, if he leans forward, he's already halfway there. Oh shoot! That explains it. That explains why. That is why this brother's able to literally fight beyond his means. Thank goodness. All right. Okay. That means so. Okay, that's good. We start with, see, this is why we're here collectively. We all are helping to figure out and answer some of these questions. It makes perfect sense. That makes perfect sense. Perfect sense, absolutely. All right, okay. We're good to go now. All right, let's this brother, no wonder. He's like, This cat goes for a jab. He doesn't have to go for a jab. He just leans forward. His head is already at your chin. You know why? Because he's so long. He's literally like 4 feet of just upper body. This man, oh shoot, that's funny. That's funny, but true. It's funny, but it's true. But now that also gives a very wide window for anyone to attack downstairs as another layer in this whole matchup saga where Inoue can have a chance to do some damage if he needs to find a way to break down Nakatani. There's a lot. If that's the case, he's got a lot of body that he can work with to go and break some windows on, to quote Teddy Atlas. Hey, the avenues to success, we keep finding answers, which is what makes this fight so exciting. If anyone catches him clean, Jutsu might end up in ICU. I mean, he might. Don't be surprised if he's actually got a better chin than we think. Don't be surprised. But if he don't be surprised if he gets put out clean. It's off topic. Have you watched JJK? Yeah, no, yes. Jujutsu Kaisen. I have started it. I think I'm on episode is it 6? I've started the show. I think I'm episode 6. I'm on the episode where old boy in pink hair just came back after his heart got ripped out. And he was having a conversation with Sukuna. The dude he's trying to get all the fingers for. And it's like, okay, yeah, I can bring you back. If you do, but if you do, we're gonna have some conditions. I'm at that episode. And so I'm just getting into it. Like I said, we're doing a lot. I'm trying to binge watch all this stuff. And so like, but nah, it's a fun show. It's a good show. It's a really good show. And so I'm probably gonna finish season 1 by this weekend. And probably gonna finish season 2 as well. Most likely. But no, it's a great show. And I have started watching. So yeah. So we're moving now. We're moving now. So let me see. Judo and Inoue, one of the biggest fights. Excuse me. Judo and Inoue, one of the biggest fights in boxing in 2026. If not the biggest fight of 2026. The only fight that would be on par or bigger would be Shakur versus Tio. That's it. Or if that fell through, Shakur versus Tank. Or if we're talking about just vicinity, at least for the States, the only other fight that could even match that hype with all of the recent drama surrounding that fight would be Boots and Ortiz from the standpoint of notoriety in the States. Can't speak abroad. Abroad, yes, Inoue Nakatani, no question, no debate. The global thing, yeah, Inoue Nakatani. America specifically, the only thing that can match Junto and Inoue or come even remotely close to that level of hype are those 3 fights, potentially. Shakur Tio, Shakur Tank, and or Ortiz versus Boots next year. The only other legit thing will probably be Roach versus Tank. Outside of that, that's it. Outside of that's in terms of matching the hype, that would be about it. That would be about it. And maybe Crawford versus Janibek, if the build up for that fight is right. But outside of that, ain't many fights topping what we see from them. Not many at all. Not many at all. Listen, you should watch Jujutsu Kaisen Zero movie first. It's basically the start of the story. It all molds. Okay, hold on, wait. So JJK Zero is the start of what I see in the anime. And then the anime is a continued on. Okay, all right, good to know. Thank you, appreciate it. That's a great tip. Because I was getting ready to watch the whole show through. Okay, so watch JJK Zero first. Then go back into the series and finish that out. Okay, appreciate it. Thank you. That's a great tip. I'm gonna take that and we're gonna work on that this weekend. Absolutely. How do you see Scott Nicholson and Ellie Scottney? Is it Scottney? Yeah, Eli Scottney, excuse me. Go Is it Ellie? I think it's Ellie. Well, you know what? Scottney. We're gonna say Scott. Scott Nicholson and Scottney goes. I feel Nicholson wins. Special young lady. Yeah, I think she wins by unanimous decision. I really do. I really do. I truly do. I think she beats Scottney definitively. She beats her definitively. Scott Nicholson's something special. She's something serious. Her, Gabrielle Fundor. Those two, I've had my eye on incredibly closely because Gabrielle Fundor already has been, it speaks for itself. Speaks for herself what the world she's been able to accomplish already as one of the best boxers, men or women, from the standpoint of accomplishments and what she's done so quickly. She's so young. Ain't she? I think she just turned like 18. Not even, maybe. And she's already this dominant. Like, it's insane. Her and Scott Nicholson, them two, I've been watching incredibly closely, or keeping up with incredibly closely, because they've been doing, I'm telling you, they're going to do some special stuff. Both of them going to do some special stuff, but I got Sky cleaning house. And she beat Scottney clean. She beat Scottney clean. It might get a little bit bloody. I ain't going to deny that. But it's going to be definitive, right? It's going to be definitive. I will put a pause on watching any more episodes and watch the movie, watch the JJK movie, Zero first. It'll make sense in later season. Okay, all right. I'll take into account and I'll do it. What about AJ versus Fury? That is all being built up to. That's what that is. AJ versus Fury is what's being built up to. Understand that. That's what is trying to be made happen. Yeah, Tyson Fury said he's done. I'm starting to believe that he legitimately ain't coming back this time for real. But I'm going to say this, there is one fight that he would come back for. If it ain't for the Usyk fight, it's finally getting the answer to an all-British war of Fury versus AJ. The biggest UK boxing fight that we would see in boxing history. Mind you, AJ versus Dubois, both fellow UK powerhouses, sold out Wembley Arena, set a record in Wembley Stadium. That fight would break that record, I think, handily. From the talk to the hype to the fight. That's the only other fight, and AJ's got to build up to get that cachet up to the level to make it worthwhile for AJ for Fury to come back. And the way you do that is exactly the way he's going about it now. He knocks out Jake Paul first. Ends that story just like he ended Francis Ngannou's story. Then he goes and he wins again against real boxers in real competition. Now he's one of the biggest names in the sport with one of the bigger accomplishments that's known in the American's eye and in the global eye of knocking out Jake Paul. Then goes and fights a real heavyweight and continues that level of destruction, showing, hey, I trained with Usyk. I'm not the same brother anymore. I've evolved yet again, and this time I got it right. Yeah. That would be one type of, that would be some kind of power. That fight, boy, that would be some kind of power. To quote that Powerade commercial, which again, hey, Powerade, if you want to be a spokesperson, bring back that some kind of power commercial. Let me be the old brother. That's a recurring character that says that one line. But I love it. I love it. But that's some kind of power that Anthony Joshua can use as leverage to say, hey, Fury, you got one, you ain't coming back for much, but you're going to come back for me. Because we got some business to handle, and I got leverage that you need if you want to touch an opportunity with Usyk again. So, it makes sense. But that's what this fight's building up to. That's what this whole road with AJ is building up to. If it ain't an Usyk rematch, it is an opportunity at the title. It is to get Fury in the ring finally. I promise you. Let me see. What's your favorite anime, action adventure, etc.? Mine? Well, that's a good question. One of my top ones is Naruto. I finished the whole thing, every filler episode, every movie, watched them all. Other one, One Piece, right now, is it's cracking that top, man. It's cracking that top. I'm sorry. That's turning into one of the, mind you, I got to 600, I think I got to 600 episodes of One Piece quicker than I finished the 500 episodes of Naruto. Shippuden, no, it's 500 plus. Shippuden and the original one with the movies. Yeah. I think One Piece is taking my top spot. Attack on Titan is in my top 3 as well. Hajime no Ippo in my top is I think my 4th or 5th. And then my last one, I gotta think about that one. I gotta think about what my last one would be. But those are my 4 as like definitive. Naruto, One Piece, no question. Attack on Titan, because the experience I had watching that show was incredible. Incredible. Me and my roommates, it was an event every night. Insane. And Alex, Mish, Dylan, if you're out there, and if you're listening, hey brother, y'all know how we got when we were watching Attack on Titan, especially that final season. Boy, man, we said forget taking tests. We said forget studying. We making time for that. We were having 4-hour debates on that show. It was a time. Love y'all. Also, hopefully y'all are doing well wherever y'all are around the globe. Alex, Mish, and Dylan, love y'all. Need to reach out to y'all, I'm not gonna lie. But even still, what was the last? Oh yeah, and then Hajime no Ippo. Those are my 4 that are like, yeah, I love it. I love it. Those are my. But I really do love action. I really like drama. Drama animes, I love. I really do love them. A combination of both. Me and my sister, we love to watch 7 Deadly Sins, even though that kind of trailed off a little bit. It's been a lit. We've seen a lot of shows. I've seen a lot of shows, so I gotta like go back to Bleach. I forgot. I can't leave out Bleach. Cause that was one of the initial ones that got me into this whole thing. And I watched every episode. But that thing was great. Oh my gosh. I think I rewatched it like twice. But it's a lot. I gotta go back through, but it is a lot. It's a lot of stuff to think about. But let me but yeah, but I'm telling you, I'm a big anime. I'm a big anime fan. Absolutely. But let me see. The Christian Winters podcast. Hey brother, fellow podcaster, how you doing? Good to see you. Thank you for tuning in. I'm so sorry. I'm not trying to avoid people's questions. We just got so many people commenting. Let me see what you got to say on today. What do you think about Murtala versus Andy Cruz? Andy Cruz better capitalize on this now. Hey brother, that man is 32. Hey, that's a wrong sound. There we go. Hey. You ain't got time to waste. You ain't got time to waste right now, brother. Andy Cruz, you ain't no, absolutely, with 6 KOs. Hey, buddy, you 32 years old, extensive amateur record, but you've been talking that talk. You like Magic Mouth. You gotta make some moves. Now. You better beat Murtala. It ain't gonna be easy. It ain't gonna be easy at all. But brother, we have been waiting to see you tested in a great way. This is that test. You better not disappoint. You better not disappoint. We see the skills, that Cuban-esque style, the slickness and all that stuff. You got some good power. I'm not denying that. But man, you better show up. I've been hearing too much. I've been having too much hype for you. As at a championship level, yeah, he can give people some great work. You better show it. You better show it. Don't you let me down, brother. Because if you do, I'm going to be hot. Because I got some high hopes for you. I'm not going to lie. Listen, anyway, reminds me, and to be clear, I'm picking him to beat Murtala. But I'm telling you, I better not be disappointed when this performance comes about. Because I have been on the train of I think he's going to be able to be proven, but he hasn't been proven in the way that we want to see him. Because, again, he's only had 6 or 8 pro fights, however many fights it is, 8 men. But he's had an amateur background. The pedigree is carrying him and the requisite performances in the ring, but this is the time you better put it all together. You better put it all together today or on the day of the night. You don't get that title, you don't win, you don't beat Murtala, we're going to have some problems. Oh, we're going to have some problems, man. I'm going to have some issues. I'm not going to lie. Anyway, reminds me of that main character. Every time he gets dropped, he gets flashback back to his training. The training art's telling him, don't give, info. A lot of people, it reminds a lot of people of info. I said at this point in time, he is at the pinnacle and looks like Ricardo Lopez in the show. If you've seen Ricardo Lopez in the show, based on the actual, I think it's Mario Lopez. Let me fact check that to make sure. Hold on. I think we looked this up again before. When it came to when it came to Hajime Whip or the anime. Yeah, he was based off of excuse me, Ricardo Martinez is the character in the show who is based off of Ricardo Lopez, the real life, insane, ridiculous boxer. I mean insane. This brother retired, what was it, 50, was it 51-0-1? I think, if we talking about Ricardo Lopez, like, the ghost jab was the brother who you couldn't, it was almost, it didn't register to you when he threw it, yet he could dominate you, and had power at every angle, in every shot, was balanced in all regard, yet was able to go and step wherever he wanted to do. Watch some of Ricardo Lopez's highlights. It's insane. Ricardo Martinez is the character he was based off of in the show, Hajime no Ippo, and in the manga. Ricardo Martinez in that position of what he is in the manga and in the anime is viewed as he is the end-all be-all. He is the final boss of the entirety of that manga. Though he fights at, I believe, featherweight. He is the best in the world and there is no other. For in a way, except for everybody except for Terrence Crawford, that's where I view him in real life. As a fighter, he fights kind of like a mix of multiple characters in the show. But status-wise, he's about at the Ricardo Martinez level. If we're gonna go anime for anime level type things. But again, I'm nerding out. Let me get back to the point at hand. And it stands up. And he stands up and goes beast mode like an anime. Yeah, no, he does. He does just like with the world of Hajime Ippo right now. He acts like the main character. Anyone will be in the anime after he retires, most likely. I guarantee you, they make another fighting anime he's probably gonna be in it as somebody's gonna get modeled out there. Most likely. Baki the Grappler, they had Manny Pacquiao in it. And Mike Tyson. And Muhammad Ali. And Muhammad Ali's son, Muhammad Ali Jr. Who was fictional in the show, but you get what I'm saying. They had Joe Frazier in the show. Alive. Fighting. With Ali in the stands. And mind you, in the manga, Ali's retired in this regard. Joe Frazier's still fighting for the world championship. So, like, the world. It's ridiculous. It's insane, but man, it's on Twitter. I'm gonna watch Naruto right now. Madara Obito versus Naruto and everybody else. No. Okay, if that's what you are, hey man, I'm gonna tell you this right now. And we're gonna wrap the show up in a little bit. But I'm gonna tell you this right now. If you at this stage where you at Madara versus the world, hey brother, turn this stream off. turn this off. Turn this off. Order some food, and I need you to sit back, and I need you to just clear out your entire schedule for the day. Because if you had that arc at the Great War, brother, you about to see something. You went, boy, if you thought, I'm going to say this. If you thought that Sasuke is a bad dude, if you thought that Kakashi is a bad brother, if you think that where Naruto is right now is something serious, brother, man, I'm gonna tell you something, boy. I'm gonna tell you something, man. That cat. I can't. That brother cold. That's all that brother cold. That brother's cold, man. That cat is cold. Let me see. Have you watched Arcane? The first season was written so well. Phil understood everything they was trying to do in the show. Really brought out emotion. I have. I'm on the second season. I need to watch it. I'm gonna watch it probably next week. I'm gonna finish I'm gonna watch the second season of Arcane. Finish the first one. Oh my gosh, incredible. My gosh, I've known people that play League of Legends. I've known of League of Legends for a hot minute. I'm glad that they made the show. I only recently got around to be able to watch it. And man, boy, woo! That animation, the action, the emotion, the storytelling. Oh gosh, it's incredible. I love it. I do love it. It's phenomenal. It's absolutely phenomenal. One Piece is one of the best. Yes, it is for me. Let me see. VPF. Yo, what's going on with it? Hey, how you doing? Good to see you. Thank you for tuning into the show. What's happening here with us on today? Hopefully, y'all don't leave a like on the stream since you're here. Hopefully, y'all are loving what we got going on. If you haven't already, hey, come subscribe. We be talking about everything under the sun. We primarily talk about boxing and sports, but every Friday, we open it up to the world, and we have a championship rounds where you can talk about anything and everything regarding the world of boxing, NBA, NFL, or anything under the sun that you would like. So let's see what you got to say, and I want to hear from you on everything involving what your opinions are as a whole. Let me see. Where to watch Chris versus Connor. Let me see. Chris Eubanks Jr. versus Connor Benn. It's going to be on the Zone. If you can watch the Zone, it's going to be on the Zone. Now, if you don't have the Zone, you can go watch it by other means. Wink, wink. That you can find. Wink, wink. On other websites. Reddit. But still, you go do what you got to do. If you got to do it. But it's going to be streamed on the Zone as a whole. So now I ain't gonna give out no sites. 'Cause I'm gonna tell you this right now. We know some people. You know, I ain't telling you. You gotta do what you got to do. I get that. But also, I ain't trying to get struck, and we don't want the secret sauce taken away. But I give it to you. You can put it in the chat, and people they can tell you. The chat can tell you what to do and where to go if you need to go that route. But it's gonna be on the Zone primarily to go and watch it. You can get like a 7-day free trial, I think, if you sign up, and so you can watch the fight and then get out of it. I think that's what I did for one of the things. If you're a first time subscriber to it, and then afterwards you got to pay, but just cancel the thing afterwards. You'll be good to go. But let me see. Excuse me. I enjoy One Piece, one of my favorite animes. With Naruto, it is, and I'm telling you, I gotta get back on the grind. I am not about to miss what the One Piece is, and it is looking insane. Sadly, the buddy who just made the Wano arc sadly passed away, and I'm so sad about that. 'Cause man, he also made the stuff for Dragon Ball, so rest in peace to him. The man behind the animation and the art direction for the most recent One Piece arc, like Egghead Island and all that stuff, and for Dragon Ball Super. He was behind that as well. The Dragon Ball Broly movie and all that stuff. So, man, it's a shame. Rest in peace to him. Sadly, he passed away, but let me see. Let me keep on reading what you all have to say on the matter. Agreed. Great show, buddy. Yeah, no, it's phenomenal. Like, it's incredible. Like, I love it. And I'm not gonna lie. And see, here's the thing. I hate the fact that I've had to step away from the anime world because we try and do some stuff behind the scenes here with the show, trying to get some stuff handled, trying to connections and whatnot. We're trying to make sure we can set ourselves up to be making some moolah, some dough, some cheddar, that gouda, that butter, that cheese, if you know what I'm saying. Yes, sir. But because of that, I haven't been able to watch all the stuff I want to watch. So I got to get back on the ball. I'm not going to lie. We're going to try to start again this weekend. And so we're going to finish off, or attempt to finish off, Kaizen, Jujutsu Kaisen. Then we're going to go finish off Arcane. Then we're going to go back to One Piece. Then after that, we're going to probably go Sakamoto Days. And then we're going Bleach, the 1,000 Year War, because I've been wanting to see that for a hot minute since it came out years ago, and I never got around to it. I'm going to watch that. And afterwards, it's probably going to be a combination of One Piece and another show, whatever that show may be, as a constant back and forth. Because like I said, I got to get to 1,000. I got to get to 1,000. I got to get to 1,000. At least I got to get to 1,000 before this story starts moving forward. And so we good. Let me see. One last question. How far are you on One Piece? We are at where, shame to say, but we at Luffy, Don Flamingo, getting ready to scrap. We there. We still on Dressrosa. But we getting in game now. Oh, the brother with the brother with the brother with the loafer. I'm telling you, them loafers clean too. I'm gonna tell you this right now. I can tell you something. Don Flamingo, the brother, he's despicable in all regard. But that boy can dress, man. That boy can dress. You might just see me pulling out. No, I'm gonna need to get them glasses prescription. But you're gonna see me pulling out one of these days with those same types of glasses, that same pink I don't know what to call it, Hulk Hogan-esque flowery thing, with a jacket and some high-rise jeans and loafers. I'm gonna add some chains to them too. Give myself a little bit of some bling. I'm gonna look cold, boy. I'm gonna look cold. I'm gonna look cold, man. It's gonna be. And look, when my waist come in too, that whole fit. I'm about to. Hey, look, you gonna see me walking in the mall, dressed just like that, wide gate and all, walking low into the flow like this, cause I'm. Hands in my pocket, strutting slow as all get out, walking like a duck, just like him in the show. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be dope. Oh, I can't wait. I'm gonna get my friends to tag along too. I'm gonna get somebody dressed up as Kuma. I don't care. I'm gonna get somebody dressed up as Kuma, and we gonna look. I'm gonna get the entire. Go ahead. You got Marines, and then you got warlords. We're gonna get people just like warlords. Some of my friends, and we're going out on town. I don't care. I do not care. In fact, I'll give you one even better. You know what we're gonna do? When we get, if you haven't seen, Michael Jackson about to have a biopic coming out, which, my gosh, looks incredible. Hey, Jafar looks phenomenal, and he can sing like him too. So I tell you this, credit to them. Phenomenal casting and phenomenal work. Brother spent 2 years getting ready for this role. And we went off of social media and everything, and just got to work trying to get ready for this film. It's gonna be great. We're gonna pull up to that. Forget dressing up as Don Flamingo. We're gonna pull up to that, dressed as every era of Michael Jackson. Oh yes, indeed. Oh yeah, buddy. Oh, it's going down. We're dressing as every version of Michael Jackson. Everybody. I'm talking about. We're going Young Mike, Fro Mike. We're going Mike with the Jerry curl. We're going Mike. We're going Thriller Mike. Bad Mike. We going Blood on the Dance Floor Mike. We going Off the Wall Mike. We're gonna have somebody dressed as the Mike from the This Is It from the This Is It documentary or film that they showed before he sadly passed away. We're gonna have somebody dressed up as Tour Mike. It's gonna be Oh, it's gonna be great. We're gonna have Soldier Mike. You remember that mic that had like a what was it called? Like a general outfit. We're gonna have that mic. We're gonna have Samurai Mike when he went over to I believe it was Japan, and we did like a samurai photo shoot similar to what Terrence Crawford did after he won the title and from Canelo Alvarez just recently. Oh, we're gonna be showing out. We ain't even gonna be sitting down. We're just gonna be dancing and moonwalking the entire film. I don't care. It's gonna be a blast, man. It's gonna be great. Oh my gosh. Sakamoto is Sakamoto Day is sick, man. Yeah, man, it's so good. That show, I got to see the first 4 episodes. It's so good. It's so funny. It's so fun. It's got kind of like that feel. If you watched what's that? What was that show? What was that show? What was that show? What was that thing? It was something House Husband. Hold on. Now I need to look it up. What was that show called? Way of the House Husband. That's what it was. It's like Way of the House Husband and a little bit of Spy X Family with like the action of, I don't know, whatever your favorite anime is. Yeah, like the action of the best versions of quality fight scenes in One Piece from like the first season. It's got that, which is like dope, really dope. It's really good and it's funny. It's funny. It's so funny. It's so funny, man. But yeah, it's a great show. Did you know this guy Nukes is fighting with a mean streak? She aiming to hurt her opponent. Yes. She ain't looking at you. She is not fighting to touch people up anymore. Not saying that she ever did, but like now she's being deliberate and working to like put her hurt. I mean, put some pain on these people. Put some pain on these women. Like so she's not just standing her ground. She is like punching with ill intentions. She's punching through her target every single time. And is working to apply that pressure every fight. And it's taking effect, man. I don't know what happened. I don't know what got in. I don't know what got into her. I don't know who told her something. I don't know if somebody just rubbed it the wrong way and got on her nerves. But boy, it's working. I don't know what her coach said, but she done flipped a switch, man. And she working for real. Not saying she wasn't working before, but it's something different. It's something different, man. It's something different. And Michael with the Jericho was cold. Now, look, now if I hadn't cut my hair, I could have. Now, if I let it grow, you might see me, good shaking my head left and right. Try do it, relaxing, going everywhere. And it's like, it looks wet, but it's dry. I'm telling you. Oh, shoot. Man, that's going to be funny. And if I do that, though, I better be careful. I'm gonna be looking like Denzel Washington in the Malcolm X film. Before he went to jail, that buddy was like, I'm holding it down. I'm trying, Spike, I'm trying. Get this off me, Spike, get it off me. Oh boy, man, that'll be funny. That would be funny. Let me see. I just passed this Rosa right now on the episode. We're on top of the giant elephant. Okay, all right. Don't spoil it for me. I've seen pictures. I've seen images of the elephant. I don't know what it is. I don't know why it is. I don't even need to know why it needs to be there. I just know I'm close, and I'm gonna get there. Boy, when I do, it's going. Oh, I can't wait. I think some of the fans are mad. Now she's fighting to hurt people. So they call her pillow fisted. Hey, look. If they call her pillow fisted, keep on talking. Because I love her fighting like this. Nicholson fighting like this. Yeah. Keep on calling her pillow fisted, please, because that's bringing out some of the best performances I've seen from an offensive, destructive perspective. There's some intent that wasn't there before, and boy, it's showing up, and it's showing out. That thing is working in her favor, and I hope she never loses this streak. Whatever got her in this mode, I hope she never gets out of it. Because my gosh, this woman fighting like this, boy, she fun to watch. She fun to watch, man. She fun to watch, I'm telling you. But with all that being said, I think we're about to wrap this up and send this on. So we're going to do a last call. We went well over the time, but we had so much good interaction. I can't fault that this is going for us. But we're going to do a last call right now. Whatever you want to say, get your shots off now. Get your questions off now. We're going to do about like 3 or 4 more if you have more questions or comments that you want to put out. And then after that, we're going to wrap this up. We're going to get on out of here and go on home for the day. Because me, I got some stuff I got to take care of, like I said before. So I went well and good past what I was supposed to. I said I had something to do this afternoon. I still do. But so be it. We got work because we doing this, and this is my job, and my job is making sure I entertain the masses as a whole. We're gonna build a community, and we're gonna build a connection. And hey, if the conversation and talk is good enough, we'll extend whatever means necessary. You know why? Because we do this. This is what we do every day, or every 3 days out the week. We working to make y'all enjoy all of your afternoons to the best way possible. As long as you have us here, we're gonna be here. Absolutely. But again, let me see. The smiling lovely girl has had enough. Yep. And guess what? I hope she continues to have enough. Because I hope she's never satisfied. Fighting like this, boy, that's good. Look, if these types of performances keep coming up, we gonna be having some conversations. We're gonna be having some in regards to pound for pound for the women. Even with Clarissa Shields and Gabrielle Fundora being at the top, understandably so. Understandably so. And again, Michaela Mayers, with her being another multi-division champion, hey, competition. I'm gonna tell you this, Nick, boy, we're gonna have some. She keeps on performing like this, we're gonna have some conversations. We gonna be having some I guarantee you, we're gonna be having some conversation about this woman. We're gonna be having some conversation about this woman moving up in the world of pound for pound, quick. Not saying she ain't already there. In my opinion, she is. But I'm talking about getting above some of the people that we thought, hey man, she just ain't better than. She just can't catch their accomplishments. You better watch out. She on the move. Fighting like this, she on the move. And man, it's going to be something insane. I can't wait to watch it. But again, anything else anybody wants to say? Last call. Be clear. Doing it one more time. Last call. Any other responses, questions, comments, concerns? We got 30 seconds because it's been a phenomenal show. We've been going 3 hours, 30 minutes. It's been an incredible show. It's been an incredible time. I love being here with you. Now, I want to be here for disclaimer, want to be here on Friday, or Saturday, to call the fight. But I have been in need to give my voice a little bit of a rest. But I'm not going to lie, with a fight like this with Eubanks and Benn, we're probably we're going to keep on going. Probably we're going to be here in the afternoon, calling and doing this fight. Most likely we're going to be here. So be prepared. Unless my voice just can't go, we're going to be here. And we're going to be doing what we need to do. So be ready to get on stream and have some fun. But boy, we going to have ourselves a time today. Or tomorrow. Tomorrow. Most likely, if my voice is able to hold up. We're going to have time. But let me see. Do you think Clarissa could beat Ali in her... That's whew. I don't know. And it's a hard question because Clarissa Shields has some incredible talent. Absolutely. But Layla Ali was dominant, undefeated dominant. Now, granted, it was in a different era of women's boxing that wasn't as filled with talent. But again, of the notable names that were in the world of women's boxing at that point in time, like with, again, Christy Martin, who, again, while was still coming up, was the Mike Tyson of women's boxing. As a whole, that woman was well and good ahead of her time. The Christy Martin, with the power that she developed and the ability to fight, she's putting people out left, right, and center. And Ali handled it. And I'm not saying that Clarissa Shields doesn't have the skill set to be something, to be able to give Ali some real work and potentially beat her. No, I'm not going to act like I'm not seeing greatness in the skill set of Clarissa Shields. No, she's one of the greatest women that's ever graced the ring. No question. She has a legitimate claim to be considered the GOAT of boxing for women. It's not just a nickname. It's an actual claim that, like, you can argue she deserves that type of adulation. But I am going to say, at this point, shoot, man, I don't know, man. I don't know. Because, see, Layla had pop. Clarissa Shields just became undisputed heavyweight champion. Absolutely. Ridiculous feat, absolutely. But Layla Ali was I believe she fought at heavyweight on her way to moving up. But Layla Ali was a better heavyweight than any heavyweight that we have in women's boxing right now, outside of, again, Clarissa Shields. And that's not disrespect. The heavyweight division, regardless of men or women, has ran into the same issue as time has gone on, where as a fighter, they have regressed in certain areas and progressed in others. Bigger, stronger, sure, or bigger and has power, but less skill set. Excuse me, she fought at super middle. My apologies. Actually, did she? Did she? Excuse me. Yeah, I apologize. Well, hold on. Wait. For what is the women's? Let me see. Hold on. Wait a second. Let's see. Now I'm actually interested. What is the weight for heavyweight for women? That's the limit. What is it? If somebody can answer in the chat while I'm looking it up, please, because this does equate to legitimate stuff. Okay, yeah. Okay, heavyweight boxing limit for women is anything over 175 pounds. So Clarissa Shields. Okay, yeah. So Layla Ali spent most of her career at what's listed as super middleweight at 168, but would be really considered, if we're going by boxing, men, women, trying to keep a little bit of continuity, cruiserweight for women's boxing, and fought and won at heavyweight for women's boxing as well. And right now, Clarissa's undisputed at heavyweight at 175, and at 168, she was also, I believe she was also champ there. But yeah, that's tough. I'm going to say no. But I can't say. That's a hard fight. I'm not going to lie, that's a hard fight. Clarissa Shields' skills are generational. But Layla Ali's skills still translate to dominance today. If she was fighting today, she would still most likely be undefeated today if she was fighting in today's era of boxing. I'm dead serious. I'm dead serious. And with her power, mind you, the difference is Clarissa Shields has just recently shown, okay, boom, all of a sudden, hey, I got some, we got pop. I mean, we got pop. We in it. Especially at heavyweight, all of a sudden she's gained some power. She just sparked out somebody to take the title, sparked out another woman or nearly knocked another woman out to get claim and to win by unanimous decision. But Layla Ali had better pop. And offensively was way more destructive, even though you can argue Clarissa Shields has more angles to go through. And's got not power, but a speed advantage. But shoot, man, Clarissa ain't fought nobody like Layla Ali. I would pick Ali. I'm picking Layla Ali. Right now, I'm picking Layla Ali. But I know that fight will be close. And it could change, but I know that. I know that fight will be close. Let me see. What's your final prediction on Eubanks on Benn versus Eubanks? Final prediction. Eubanks. Oh, I hope I'm right. I hope I'm right. Eubanks by split decision. Eubanks by split decision is my final prediction. But y'all are giving me some scary hope that we're gonna see that we're gonna see Conor Benn get a KO. And boy, I'm scared. I'm scared. The moment will be great, but I could look like a fool. So but I got Eubanks by split decision in this fight as my final prediction. Let me see. I got Benn by KO and a backflip. We're gonna find out. Let me see. I'm still rapping. Hey man, you thought I was playing? This is what I do. I can go 5 hours if need be. We've done an 8-hour stream before. We did a stream where we went back to back we went 5 hours with Canelo, an hour of sleep, and then we woke back up in the midnight to go and watch Inouye versus, who was it against? No, in the morning. We woke up back in the morning to watch Inouye fight in another fight. Or was it Nakatani? One of the two. For another like 2 hours. So look, y'all think when I say I'm trying to get this cheddar, it's because, brother, I know I'm just that good, brother. Hey, man, hey, I'm that good. I'm that good. You're doggone right. You're doggone right I'm that good. You're doggone right I'm that good. But look, now we done now. We can end it off. And we can get on out of here fully. And I think we can wrap it up and send it home. Again, Clarissa Shields and Ali, I would pick Ali to win. But, brother, I know that is a hard fight. And I'm probably going to be going back and forth thinking about what they would be like in their prime against each other. That'd be bad. That'd be hard. At heavyweight, yeah, I got Ali. At 168, I still got Ali. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to lie. But it's closer. It's a whole lot closer. And the prime was more so at 168, so I'm going through 168 as the more dominant thing. But that'd be great. That'd be great. Anyway, Inouye versus MJ. If you're talking about in terms of threat level, comparative with Layla Ali and Clarissa, maybe that's comparative from the standpoint of how would they be looked at against each other. And then in the ring, it could be a blowout for Layla Ali. Dare I say it could even be like, oh my gosh, Clarissa Shields would be better than I thought. But again, I got to get some thought on that. I would have to get some thought. I'm not going to lie. So we're probably going to go back and forth. But regardless of which, it's been a phenomenal show. Have a great day. Absolutely love King. Have a great day. Have a great day to everybody else. We're going to get out of here. Come on. We're wrapping this show up and sending it home. We got to go. Teddy Burkshot, Sky hurting now because she moved down 2 weight class. Maybe so. Regardless of which, she fighting different, and we can't wait to see it. But we got to get out of here. So with all that being said, hey, thank you for joining in, and thank you for tuning in to another episode of The Welch Smoke with me, your host, Jean-Luc Welch. Thank you to everybody who tuned in into the show with us on today. It's been phenomenal. It's been incredible. If you would love to support the channel, we got Cash App, we got PayPal, links down below in the description. If you can support, like we said, monetization is going to be activated within the week. So by Saturday, Sunday, we're going to be here and we're going to make it that dough, that cheddar, absolutely help to invest back in this show, help make this thing better for all of you all to come in and enjoy. No question about it. We appreciate your time. We appreciate your effort. We appreciate your energy. We appreciate all of you coming through and making this show bigger and better for today. Hopefully you have a great day. Be sure, most likely we're going to be here on tomorrow to watch live stream for the whole of the Eubanks County Benn card. If my voice can hold up to it, we're going to make it happen. Absolutely. And also be sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Leave a like on the video before you get out of here. Be sure to hit the notification bell so you know whenever we post right here on YouTube. As well as be sure to rate us 5 stars on every podcasting platform. And listen to us wherever you listen to podcasts. Come join the empire. If you can't support the channel, like I said, we got means up here. If you can't give, if you can't, perfectly fine. Just tell people about the show and share the show with everybody you know so we can keep on building this empire together. And hey, it's been great. This show's going to be on all podcasting platforms by the end of the day, so you can listen to it wherever you are. And hey, hopefully you have a phenomenal day. Hopefully we made your day a little bit better. And hopefully we'll see you all on tomorrow afternoon, because it's going to be a great thing. Oh, almost forgot. Pound for pound, who was indeed the best chatters of the show? Number 5, Teddy Brookshot. Number 4, pound for pound, Ramon Vasquez. Number 3 ranked is Love King. Number 2 is Mr. Miyagi. And number 1, for the second time in a row, yet again, Amin Roda is the pound for pound best chatter on today's episode. Can you retain it when we come back for our next show? Hey, we're going to find out. But with all that being said, congratulations to you. And we appreciate all of you tuning into the show. I've been John Welch. Y'all have been wonderful. Peace and love. Oh, we are out here. Yes, sir. We're going to see you all most likely on Saturday afternoon. Be safe, be blessed, and we out.